Hey, welcome back to an episode of Ramen Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and as always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey, homie.
How's it going, bud?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm excited.
Why are you
to talk
excited?
about Ride Your Wave.
Is that by our boy?
Yeah, it's by our boy Masaaki Yuasa. We've been waiting for this for a while, actually. It came out right after we watched the Violet Evergarden movie.
Literally, like, the next day.
Yeah.
The very next day.
We live an hour and a half away from the closest place. We get to watch both of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of had to opt for the one day that we could go where I didn't work.
Yeah. Well, it was like you said, well, you can watch it if you want. He goes, I can't watch it. It's like, well, I'm about to go to SAC all by myself because Sierra's gonna have to work too. He's like, and watch this by myself, and then come back.
It made sense for nobody.
Yeah, and then come back and be like, hey, let's review this, but you haven't seen it, so let me talk at you and tell you how great this movie is, because this movie is great, and we're gonna for sure talk about it. Hopefully, oh man. There's going to be spoilers because we have to talk about core elements, things that happen important. But it's really good. Everybody should go out and watch it. I'm going to say that right off the top. You could
get it just straight up. You could get it on Amazon. That's where, like, for streaming. If you are going to get a Blu-ray DVD, you could get it wherever the fuck. But yeah, definitely, it's only available for streaming on Amazon right now.
Yeah, rent or buy. Be careful. Pick the language you want because that's the one you're stuck with.
Oh yeah, that's a really good call. Make sure to pick the language. Yeah, I went for Japanese this time. What about you?
I also went with Japanese this time.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So anyways, what's new with you, man? We're going to talk about that in like forever from now. But like, what's good with you? What's been going on?
Well, bro, I'm trying not to get too mad.
What is not good with you? Let's maybe...
Because I'm fucking pissed, bro.
You look fucking pissed.
So this last weekend, you and I were supposed to be playing Fall Guys, like a couple of guys.
That was the plan, and I was gonna stream it, and everyone was gonna watch, and then we were gonna have one person like say some racist shit because that happens on stream,
and they get canceled.
Yeah, it all got canceled. Don't worry about it.
So that didn't happen because the computer I had ordered that was supposed to be here on the 5th did not come here on the 5th. And then I got a message from Amazon saying like, hey, it'll be there a couple days late. So maybe be there on the 6th or the 7th. And then they go, all right, for sure on the 8th. It'll be there on the 8th, which is Saturday, the day we were supposed to play. And so like I text you and then you're asking me for updates. And I go, yeah, man, it's supposed to be here before 8 and nothing. You hit me up Sunday and I go, yeah, man, nothing. And then I think it's Sunday night we're talking and it's just like, so what's it look like? It's like, I don't know, man. I think it might come in. I have a feeling that it's going to come in on time. So it didn't come in on time. It looks like my package, it looks like it's lost. Like it got a label made for it. It got shipped out and then didn't make it to anywhere else. It just disappeared.
Okay. I think it's important to tell the timeline of things. It was July 30th.
Yes.
You ordered it. July 31st, it got sent to the shipping facility. And that's where it's at on the East Coast. We're very far from it.
Yes. So it is. It disappeared. So I was really frustrated. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to ask for a refund, like, because, I'm going to get my money back and then I'll just buy another one elsewhere.
Yeah. Just maybe buy it from Best Buy or some shit.
Yeah. Maybe I'll buy one locally. I'll go out to an actual fucking store and buy one. So I hit them up and they have like this chat thing, like a chat feature with not a real person. And they go, hey,
which is honestly like super helpful.
It is very convenient because they know exactly what I want. They're not fucking around. So I go, hey man, what are you here for? I go like, I want a refund for this. And they go, is it, the computer's like, is it broken? I was like, no, it never arrived. And they go, oh yeah, you're right. It's never arrived. He goes like, and they go, it's probably lost. We'll give you that refund. And I go, cool. And so I'm just chilling. And then it goes like, hey, don't disconnect from the chat because we're still processing your refund. I was like, absolutely. And then the chat disconnects. I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, all right, I'll call them because the other option is to call customer service. I call customer service. I get a lady and she's like, what's going on? I was like, hey, just to let you know, like I was trying to get this refund processed through your chat thing. And then it cut me off. So I want to know, did the process finish? Is it midway through? Can you just let me know what the status is? She goes like, oh, it looks like the process hasn't started. I was like, okay, well, can we get that rolling?
Can we do it? Yeah.
Can we do it? She's like, oh, absolutely. So she starts typing away. And then she's just like, hey, I'm going to have to put you on hold. I'm just waiting on this thing, blah, 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 to get approved. And I was like, yeah, sure. I don't mind being on hold. No worries. So I'm on hold for like 15, 16 minutes. And then they hang up on me. And I was like, fuck this. I'm upset. I call again. A guy answers. His name's Dylan this time. I go, hey Dylan, here's a skinny. You guys have hung up on me literally twice, you know. You are not going to put me on hold. I refuse to be put on hold. Like, you're going to help me with this. You're going to give me my refund today. Like, that's going to happen. And he goes like, oh yeah, no, I totally understand. He's like, I don't think you do, because I'm fucking pissed. I was like, this like, and I'm sorry for if I'm offending you, if I'm being rude. It's like, but I was on hold for this long for you guys to hang up on me. That's unacceptable. It's like, don't put me on hold. He's like, okay, no problem. I got you. I'm going to work for you. It's like, dope. So I'm sitting there in my car with the AC running, you know, just like, fucking, that's where I do my best work, honestly. I'm on hold, and he's just like, all right, typing away. And he's just like, no, I'm not on hold. He's just on the line with me. He's typing away, and he's just like, okay, yeah, so it looks like I have to send this thing to get approved. And I fucking shit you not, Trip. He was gonna say, he's gonna be like, I'm gonna put you on hold. And I was about to fucking blow up on him. And he goes, I'm gonna stay on the line with you while this happens. Like, I'm like, fucking goddamn right, you're gonna stay on the line with me. And we're just hanging out on the line. And 10 minutes passed, and he goes like, hey, are you still there? He's like, I'm still here. He's like, okay, well, I'm just still waiting to get this approved. Like, no worries, I'm just chilling. And then another 5 minutes passed. Like, hey, you still there? He's like, yeah. He goes like, it looks like the amount for this computer, for the item that you want, is a lot. It's like, yeah, it's not a cheap computer. It's like, so it has to get approved by someone that's higher up than me. It's just like, yeah, I get the process. No worries. He's like, it's like, so that's why this is taking so long. I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, I'm just gonna hang out here. And he's like, okay. And he comes back, checks back in 4 minutes, and I can hear him typing and doing stuff. Like, so I'm not on hold. And he's just like, still there? He's like, yep, just chilling. And he comes even closer, and he's just like, hey man, you still there? I was like, yes. I was like, I'm not gonna hang up until you tell me that I have a refund. He's just like, okay, yeah, no worries. So I'm on the line for like almost 40 minutes. And he's like, oh, okay, so it looks like the people that do this specific amount of refund for this big amount is like on a certain team, and they have not responded to my messages. Like, yeah. So he was on hold while I was on hold with him. Like, while I was hanging out with him, and I'm like, okay, cool. What's the solution here? What is going to happen? And he goes, so I wrote a ticket. I sent it to them. They should be contacting you within 24 to 87 hours or whatever. And I go, what an odd amount of time to be like,
yeah.
And I was like, okay, are they going to be calling me? He's like, no, they're going to give you an email. I was like, cool. And I go like, and what happens if they don't email me? Who am I going to call? And he goes like, and Dylan goes, okay, well, I don't work that day. That would be the end of the 82 hours, but I work on Friday. If by Friday you haven't heard anything, he goes like, I'm going to personally call you. He was like, okay, good. Dylan was like, look, I was like, I'm sorry for the way I spoke to you earlier. I'm very frustrated. He's like, but I hope not to hear from you Friday, because I hope these guys get their shit together. It's like,
yeah.
But if not, I'm gonna be talking to you on Friday again, and this has to get taken care of. He's like, yeah, no worries. And he goes, hey, just to be clear, like, since you're getting the refund for this thing, the package might arrive, within this time or whatever, because it's like almost 3 days for them to get back to me, and then 5 days to get a refund. It's like, it might arrive. I'm like, and at this point, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm gonna send it back whenever it gets here. It's going back. It's like, he's like, and you're gonna fucking pay for shipping, because I'm fucking had it with you guys. And he's like, yeah, no worries, absolutely. And so I was like, he hangs up. He's being very helpful. I was upset. I did calm down. And I was telling Sierra about the situation. I was like, yeah, like, honestly, like, fuck them. Like, it's over. Like, I don't care. I don't ever want to play Fall Guys ever again. That's how upset I am. And
oh my God.
Sierra's like, but you already pre-ordered. It's like, yeah, it's just going to stay in my Steam. Pre-ordered. Never fucking been open. I guess our plan is get a refund and then just buy it from someone else. That's like, and I maybe even physically go pick it up from, like, just because I'm not dealing with this anymore.
I don't know if Best Buy has, I don't know how open they are, but I heard that before they were doing just pickup service only.
They were doing appointments also. Like, you'd make an appointment and they would let you come in and then leave or whatever.
So if you're able to get a computer through Best Buy or something like that, don't put in, all the stupid work that I put into mine.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna
just fucking get it. Yeah,
buy a computer. Yeah. So no, I think the computer that we want, I think Staples sells it also. So like maybe we'll just pick one up from Staples or whatever. I don't know. The thing is, I'm not gonna do it through Amazon again. I just want my money back, and I hope that fucking PC shows up like on Thursday, and I go, cool, fucking take it back. Here's your fucking return address. Take it back. I don't fucking want it. Yeah, so that was frustrating. So that was I was having a great day too. Like, I even went to work and I had a good day at work. And then fucking Amazon went and fucking ruined my day. That was funny.
Damn, dude, fun. That sucks.
Yeah,
but,
so that's
The other day, I don't remember when it was like a few days ago, I accidentally got caught up watching this video right when I was going to bed. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I've seen before, but I just get such a kick out of it, I guess. This dude is on the phone with AT&T or Verizon Wireless, I don't remember, and he's from the United States, but he got a phone plan in Canada because he was working there or something like that, and he was quoted that he had like charges at a certain rate or whatever for however much usage it was, he would be charged 1/10 of a penny, right? Which is...
So 10 of them would cost 1 penny.
Yeah, so it's 0.00 or no, 100th of a penny. That's what it was. It was 0.001 cents is what he was quoted.
So 100 minutes would be a penny.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, that's math.
Yeah, sure. So anyways, he was quoted that amount, and then for them doing the math, they fucked up the math. So he had a $78 bill. And if for however much usage it was, if he was only supposed to be charged 100th of a penny, then that's 0.001 pennies. And they kept doing that. They're like 0.001 times your like whatever number winds up being $76. And he's like, no, you're doing the math wrong.
Yeah.
You're doing it for $0.001.
Yeah.
Not 0.001 cents. And they're like, no, sir, I'm doing it for 0.001 cents. And he's like, I understand that you think that you're doing that, but you're doing 0.001 times this thing, which is $0.001. And they're just like, sir, I'm doing the math correctly. He's like, right, but I was quoted and you quoted to me, I'm paying 0.001 cents. And they're like, that's correct. That is what we're doing. It's like, great. So you say that that's the rate that I should be charged.
Yeah.
So you're doing your math wrong. And he's like, I just want to get down to the bottom of this. I either want to be told I was misquoted or you're doing your math wrong. And they're like, sorry, sir, I'm going to transfer you to somebody else. He's like, that's fine. And he re-explains the situation. The same conversation happens. And he gets transferred to a third person. And he's explaining it again and again. He's like, you're just doing your math wrong. It's 0.001 cents. Not $0.001. And they're like, right, I'm doing 0.001 cents. He's like, no, it would be 0.00001 for 100th of a penny. Like, again and again, they just did not understand. And that's the kind of shit where it's just like, oh man, these phone conversations, these calls, this little fuck up. And then one fucker over in some shipping facility stole your shit, or it's being delayed because of the whole goddamn United States Postal Service going to shit because it's being just sabotaged. Y'all know.
Sabotaged, I screamed.
Long story short, dude, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I'm pissed because I really wanted to play Fall Guys with you instead of just play it alone by myself. No, I play it with like homies. You know how that is.
Yeah, well, it is it's discouraging. It's just gonna have to I'll just have to wait longer to play. I might play on my PlayStation 4 just because, like, well, I do want to play. I might as well play it.
You hit me up the second you do that.
Okay. But yeah, I do want to get it for the PC. I do want other games. Now that I had my ID, like
you were already set on it.
I was
like,
I'm
set on
getting
this and that.
I was like, well, I want to play these other games that look interesting to me. I want to get more into games. Not all, just
in general. Because I mean, in your industry, I think that it's important to be aware of like the different kind of animations that are going on.
Yeah,
whether or not it's like super realistic movie animations or if it's more cartoony, you could see everything in different mediums.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I know Sierra wants a PC, so like it's something that we want to do, but we're just gonna have to do it through different people because I don't want to deal with the Postal Service and Amazon again. So it is what it is. That was pretty shitty. See, the only other thing I had to talk about, and I'll try to be quick about it because I don't want to bum you out.
Oh, shit, okay.
Because I know because besides that, like I've been just helping out at Gordo. We're shorthanded, so I've been working a little bit more.
Yeah, totally get that.
Animating just like normal. Been doing that.
What's your project?
Obstacle course. I think we talked about it where I have to like have someone like do runs and jumps.
Yeah, like a fall guy has to run and jump and
Yeah, no, it's my. I got this guy. Course. He kind of looks Robin Hood-esque. You know, he's got like the hat and like a
kind of like slender with like old timey.
He's buff. He's buff, and he kind of looks like
ripped Robin Hood.
Yeah, he's got like tights and boots and like one of those hats with feathers, and he's like climbing. It was supposed to be a castle, but I couldn't find an asset castle that was free somewhere. So it's more like this like broken down log ship thing. But he's like climbing it, and then he like jumps to posts, and then he jumps through like a window, and that's kind of the thing. It's like a 6-week assignment. I think it's going well. I'm enjoying it. I was really getting tired of looking at my last assignment, and I feel like we were talking to my teacher, and that's something that happens with a lot of people in animation. You just kind of that's what they give you more
burnt out.
Yeah, that's what they give you more than one scene at a time. They'll give you 2 or 3. So you kind of work on one, and you go, I can't look at it anymore. You go to your next one and work on that, and kind of jump back and forth. But because we're students, they don't want to overload us. So you kind of just focus on one thing, and then you just kind of eventually your eyes just.
I mean, because the whole idea is you have other projects to work on for different classes and whatnot, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it's going fine. It's going, yes. One thing I did do, I was on Discord with some other friends, and usually I see people stream like them playing games, right? And then one guy was streaming him drawing one day, and then it was just me, Kyle, and another guy, and I was like, hey, can I stream myself animating? They're like, yeah, go for it. I'm like, how? Because I don't know how to use Discord. And just click here and click there. I was like, oh, this is so much fun. And I was just like, yeah. So I was like, kind of like educating, like, so why would you? Like, well, you see, you splay the fingers to show more, like kind of. So that was fun.
It also helps like reinforce your knowledge of it too when you explain things that way.
Yeah, when someone asked me, and also it made me feel kind of like I was a bit more accountable. There is like, if I would stop animating for be like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh, my bad. I went to go get a drink or something, and I gotta go back to it. But it was fun. I don't know if I'd do that streaming for myself in the future, but it was an entertaining thing to do.
I see our buddy Tom. It does that with his friend Colin.
They stream music stuff or
no, like
stuff?
he's drawing. Yeah, Tom's pretty into art shit.
Yeah,
so
that's what's up.
He's constantly trying to improve stuff, and he's able to do that and get feedback from somebody else while he's doing it. So totally a good way to use that platform. So
I animated, and then Kyle played, like, we shared a Spotify thing, and like Kyle played music, and we just kind of talked back and forth for a few hours. It was really fun.
Sounds chill.
It felt like I was just chilling with a friend.
That's how it goes, man.
Even though I wasn't, because he wasn't here.
Shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. You don't need to hang out with people in real life. It works we do pretty good with this.
We're getting better.
I feel like it is.
Yeah, for sure. I still miss you very much, though.
I know. Like, I would love it.
Stop. Don't say it. The new Amine album dropped. I ended up making a TikTok and drawing something for it. It was like a mashup between him and Luffy. I really like the album. There's like 1, maybe 2 songs on the thing that I don't fuck with. But besides that, it's really good. So I've been listening to a lot of like his new album, and then like his 2 earlier albums just kind of on repeat while I do work. So that's pretty good. Lastly, so because of COVID, Survivor is the next 2 seasons of Survivor can't be filmed. Like they postponed them. They postponed them for like later this year, earlier when the pandemic started, mm-hmm. And then they officially said like, okay, well, it's just not going to happen. So usually,
we got fucked.
Yeah, usually they film 2 seasons back to back, and then 1 season gets premiered in the fall, and then another season gets premiered in the spring of the next year. So that means the next seasons are just not happening. They're not being produced. So their schedule's going to be all off for whenever they get back up and running. I think it was a good choice. Like I was a part of I'm a part of the Survivor fandom page, and we were discussing it. Some people were upset, but I was like, you know what? Realistically, it's a good call because like there's like over 300 cast people, like that production people from all over the world come together to these small Fiji islands where like there isn't the best infrastructure. So like imagine if one of them got sick.
They would get that help that they need.
They would all get sick. And imagine if they got local people sick, because they do hire local people to do stuff for them. Like, hey, can you plow this thing or whatever? So like the Survivors just like in CBS, like we would feel really bad if that were to happen. So we're just going to avoid it completely. And like, that's a great call because it's not just like the 20 contestants. It's like all of the people behind it. So I was like, I respect their decision. But because of that, no Survivor. And you miss out on me giving you updates every week on who is winning and who is doing what in Survivor. Which is I feel bad.
Bummer.
I know you like it.
Man.
I know Kate likes it. So instead, I'm going to review the challenge that I've been watching. Sierra and I have been plowing through it. We have watched 1, 2, 3. We have watched 3 seasons to completion. The 14th season is not on the app. It's not, you can't watch it anywhere. And the 15th season we're currently watching, I'm not going to review that. But it's going to be really quick. Really quick. It's going to be very brief. I'm not going to go too into detail because you know how it can get. How you know how it can get.
I know how you could get, baby.
Okay, here we go. Season 11, The Gauntlet 2. That's the first one that was available on the app. It came out in 2005. I rated it 4 out of 10. Not that great of a season. It was a bummer that's the one that Sierra had to start watching. It was very old-timey television. It was very squared. It's the first time that the TJ Lavin was the host. Before that was some other rando dude. And this guy's the one that sticks on it forward. And it's funny because Sierra picks on him because he looks kind of dumb. He's kind of slow and not very smart. And yeah, he's not very smart. He's not very charismatic, but it's MTV, so who cares? The challenges, all that they did in the missions felt very like commercially for their sponsors. Like, hey, this challenge is sponsored by this painting company kind of stuff. So not the best television. Season 12, Fresh Meat, 6 out of 10. That came out in 2006. They added new players that were really good. Like they revitalized things. And these are players that you're going to see for the next, like, I don't know, 10 seasons. Like they will keep popping in and out. They had a new way of eliminating people called the Exile that I thought was really fun. The ending was pretty underwhelming, though. The person who won, the guy who won it, only won because he won an advantage before the actual last challenge started, which was a free kick in soccer. You know, like it was like they had 5 shots. Whoever made the most goals got a 2-minute head start. So he made the most goals. So he won by 2 minutes. So I was like, oh, that's kind of lame. It was fine though. And then season 13, The Duel.
Wait, did you not want to give us like a good rating?
I did a 6 out of 10. Like I feel like 5 is just in the middle. So it's like above a 5.
So you still not feeling it?
No, it's like yeah. I enjoyed
it's
parts
just kind
of
of on.
Yeah. Like I enjoyed the
Just
Exile
trying to
bit.
get like a good
I enjoyed
assessment.
Yeah, exactly. That my rating is I rarely give anything 10s whenever I rate anything, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that should be reserved for like only the best stuff. And a lot of people are like, I'm too afraid to give stuff a 10 because it has to be perfect. Like, no, fuck that. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be really fucking good.
I think it has to be perfect for you. Like in your, it's like, it's very, at a 10, it's very opinionated. At 10, you're just like, hey, this is a 10 for me, you know, because like,
oh yeah,
I want to give it that. So no, like, I feel like 5 is always a middle ground, like, because 5 out of 10 is always just like, that's half, right? Like you got half of something. So it's above half. So like, and it, like I said, the Exile part was fun. There were some new players that were fun, but besides that, like nothing to really like hoot and holler about. The next season, The Duel, 2007, the format on how they did like people getting eliminated and stuff, I feel like worked a lot better. People would, it's not perfect, but you would like vote back and forth as to like who you wanted to save, and at the very end, whoever was left, kind of like in a schoolyard pick, you know, boy, girl, and whoever's left over at the end, they got to pick who they wanted to compete against, who didn't win that week's competition. So like that's how they decided who was going to go to the bottom, and then they got to pick anybody who hadn't won that week's challenge. And I felt like that was fair. Like you could call out whoever you wanted. And they had good missions. They were fine. Again, the ending to that one was also kind of lackluster though. So 7 out of 10. And actually, I mistake. The ending that I was talking about, the underwhelming ending, that actually happens in The Duel. The whole guy winning by two minutes, that happens in The Duel. The Fresh Meats one was also just not underwhelming. It was so underwhelming, I mistook it for like another ending. And yeah, that's it. 14. I've seen season 14 a long time ago, but they don't have it on the app and there's nowhere to stream it legally. So I was like, we'll just skip it. But next is season 15, The Gauntlet 3. And yeah, I'll let you know when it's done. I'll probably take us like...
Hell yeah.
We really slammed through them. Actually, to be fair, the first 3 seasons we saw, the episodes were only 20 minutes long. So we just demolished them. Like we could watch them in a day because it was like an hour was 3 episodes and just done. But now starting with season 15,
now
looks
that
like
you've
the episodes
gotten into like current television trends of
more close. Long. Yeah, every episode's an hour long, so it's going to take a lot longer to get through all of the stuff now, which it's kind of a bummer. Because I was enjoying just being able to get through them and be done with them to hopefully get to the better ones. But now knowing that like they're an hour long, I know it's still going to take away before I start really like enjoying the people that are playing and like the people and like what kind of stuff they're doing. So, but yeah, that's the challenge. Hopefully Survivor
pretty
comes
wild.
out.
I don't know how I'm going to feel about this whole challenge update. I'm not as invested.
You'll get invested. I know it's not as good as Survivor. Hopefully it comes back so I can stop doing the challenge update. But right now, Fucking welcome back to the Instagram Challenge podcast. What I do is talk about the challenge.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, man. What have you been up to? Because that's it for me's.
I played a bunch more Final Fantasy. I'm at the very end. I guess maybe not the very end. I'm in the last chapter of the game, which means that I could be anywhere between like an hour and like 5 hours, I guess, from finishing it. So I'm right there. I'm stoked about that. But Fall Guys came out afterwards.
Sure did.
So I've been playing a lot of Fall Guys. And
try to be cool, man. Try to be delicate to people's situations.
I definitely don't want to make you upset, but what I do have to say is I've gotten to be pretty good. I've got almost 20 full wins, and I'm split between the PlayStation and the PC. I'm using PlayStation controller for both. I have almost 20 full wins, so I have a lot of tips to give you when we play together.
Okay, time out. Quick questions. Since we're now we're doing Fall Guy talk, I have to have questions. Ready?
Just for a minute. Yeah.
So because it's split between PC and the PlayStation, your stats are different on either of them, right? Like you can't transfer.
That's correct. I know. I don't like that either, but it's kind of cool though, because then you have like unique characters and you get like different shit on PlayStation and PC constantly rotating. So you just have different characters. You got different folks to play with. At this point, straight up going to say it, PlayStation's better for Fall Guys. And here's the reason why. Like all good things, people know how to fuck it up and ruin it and make it the worst. So what people decided to do was a hack, of course, because hackers exist all the time. Now, why would you hack a super goofy, fun game that, like, when you win, it helps you unlock items in the store that are limited? Why would you hack that when it could so easily just be something that you attain on your own? If you insist on doing that, like, what the fuck? Never understood it. You get pretty much nothing from it. There's no ranking system or anything, so nobody even knows that you're cool and have all this cool high score points. Except for that one person that hacked it. So they ruined that. So some games you enter, you see somebody just head out in front of everyone in like super speed. So I just quit right away when that happens, which sucks. And then people found out that you can change the HTML, or you can change your name in Steam to include HTML that like messes with the way that the name looks and this whole like.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it blows up and like suddenly you see certain things like people got political and they made their name some weird HTML code that shows up really big across the full screen like ACAB. People got political and did stuff like that. Other people just went for the classics, just big old cum across the screen, big old fuck,
Yeah.
And of course, other people got racist too. So they removed names. So now everyone's just Fall Guy and a few numbers, which sucks.
Wait, that's only on the computer.
That's only on PC right now, and they're trying to fix all these issues. They found a better system to like eliminate all the people that are hacking and to like fuck them over, delete the game, spend more money on it if you want, like whatever. But yeah, they got it so that they could ban them and find them more easily in their system. And then they got rid of the names. They still haven't brought them back yet, but I'm very excited for whenever they do, because it's fun to see other people's names and be like, all right, I'm rooting for this guy, and we're going to root for them the whole time.
You go, let's go like, taco salad.
Yeah, exactly. After you win, you're like, all right, cool. Now I'm going to rotate through and find my friend, and then your friend wins. You're like, all right, cool. Who am I going to cheer on? And then you just choose somebody. And you're like, yeah, let's go. You got this. Oh, they fell over. They got this, though. They got this. It's fun. I like doing that. But it sucks when it's just like, yeah, you go, Fall Guy 5587.
What happens when, so it is skill-based. Oh, I don't know. The matchups, they're like, so like if you go in a match. I don't
think it is.
Is it the better you get, you play with better people or no?
I don't think so. I don't think that they have anything like that. Because honestly, it's just a ridiculous and fun time. And they have so much random elements to it. Like there are a lot of team games and you can have two teams bully one team and that one team just won't win. Yeah. So there's that random element of, am I going to be on the bullied team? I don't know.
Bully Sometimes yellow. You always bully the yellow team.
So you already know what's going on.
I'm very aware, yes. I am on the fucking pulse of Fall Guys. I'm like, I'm frothing at the mouth to play.
Oh, dude, yeah, you gotta.
Last question: when you play teams and your boys lose, do you just opt out or do you continue to play? Personally,
depends on where we're at. Okay. So first round, somebody's out. I'm out too, baby. I'm out of there. Fuck it. If we're in round 2 and you get out, the next round might be the final round. There's a chance that it's like third round, final one. Yeah. So totally different, depending on what games we play, totally different results. But yeah, I've just been getting progressively better. And as a speedrunner, you'll appreciate a couple of tips that I have for you on some on like Slime Climb. There are a few peak little points that'll boost you ahead that like frame or two, you know?
Yeah, I think that's very funny. I'm excited to play whenever I get to play.
It'll be a good time, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to just find a day and play with my PlayStation. Just kind of satiate the urge to want to play because it's still free on PS4, right? For now
on PS Plus, yeah. If you have the online thing, then
I got the online thing, so I should be able to get it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It sucks because I do want to play online. That sucks that the people are hacking it, but that's not surprising because people suck.
No, but on PlayStation, no hackers. You get your names. I'm a happy boy. I'm a happy little baby. So like, definitely want to play some of that. Yeah, man, it's fun. There also were some problems with like there are games called Tail Tag. There's Team Tail Tag, and of course
the Revenge of Tail
Rumble, or Royal Rumble. All of them involve people wearing tails. Team Tail Tag, there are 4 teams. Some people on the teams are wearing tails, and whoever has the least tails by the end of the match gets out. Tail Tag is the same thing, but it's a free-for-all. And Royal Rumble is just one person has a tail, and whoever has it at the end wins.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's super scary. But the worst part about it is, in order to deal with that lag, just the innate lag between server and whatnot, they want to make sure that players have a fair chance. So on your own screen, you'll always be faster than everyone else. You'll always move like half a second faster than everyone else to deal with that lag. Otherwise, the input lag is weird. Anyways, that's just the way it looks. So on other people's screens, they are right up on you. And on your screen, you are very far from them.
Okay.
So they grab onto your tail, and they're like 2 miles behind you. And you go, what the fuck, bro? How did that happen? And it happens every time. And you can't see that shit. When you get up in there and you're trying to grab their tail, you have to be like right on them. I had 5 Rumble Royales in a row. I didn't have any other final rounds. Had 5 of them. And after the last one, where I grabbed the person, and then they let go. And then I went up and I grabbed them again, and they let go. And then I grabbed them again, and I didn't get the tail any of those times. I was fucking pissed. And it wasn't just that it was the last time I did it. It was the 5th time, and it was just 2 of us. It was me and him. And I grabbed that fucker 3 times, and I didn't get his fucking tail. The only times that I've gotten the tail are the way that you're supposed to do it, or I suck on their face and their tail goes through their ass into my face. Like, that's the only way it works, man. I don't understand it. So that shit got me a little bit pissed off, but they said that they're working on fixing it, and they put out a little patch today, and they're supposed to be fixing it. So I don't know how it feels, but definitely felt cheated every once in a while when that would happen. They're also working on balancing. These are all positive things. Since you haven't had to play with it, you're not going to feel the frustration, right?
Yeah.
They're also working on when you get to the like last, it feels like it's going to be the last round. You've got like 10 people left. Oh, that's enough for the last round. But you actually have 9 people, and then it goes into a team game. And I know you're thinking like 9 people. Well, it's either going to be 3v3v3, or they're going to fuck us over and they're going to do a 1v1 Rocket League style soccer match, right?
Yeah.
So you have 4 people on one team and 5 on the other, and you're just fucked, man.
Yeah.
You are absolutely fucked unless your team knows exactly what they're doing and the other team doesn't know what they're doing at all.
I watched a stream where a guy was playing the Rocket League, fucking soccer game, and they're just
it's called fall ball.
Yeah, and he was just like, what the fuck? He's just like, the other team was just handing them their asses, and then someone in the chat was just like, they have one more person than you do, and he goes like, I can't believe that difference one person makes.
When it's that small, yeah. But if it was like 10 versus 11, you would be like, who gives a shit about that extra guy? Whatever, we could be a little bit better. But when it's 5 versus 4, that's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 10 versus 8. And when you look at those numbers, you're like, fuck that shit, right?
Well, if you think about it, 5 versus 4, you could just get your 5th guy to grab one of their guys, and now it's 4 versus 3, which is even like smaller, right? Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. So anyways, they're fixing that so that doesn't happen. They're trying to make it so it's only even matches.
Yeah.
And I don't know how hard that coding is. I'm sure that they got some weird shit to do. But those are the biggest things that I got like problems with. Fall ball being uneven and the tail tag bullshit being fixed. So you're going to come into a better game than I got to come into, and I get to give you some speed run tips. You got to jump on the triangle, you got to slide past all the hammers, and then if you go in that little corner, you get to do a little hop, skip, dump. You're good there.
I just wanted to be there from day one, man. I wanted to like earn my stripes and like level up like everybody else, like a real cool gamer guy, and I'm not gonna.
Neither of us would have gotten in on day one because we record on Tuesdays and it came out on a Tuesday, baby. I didn't get to play it. You didn't get to play it. We're the same guy.
I would have, if I had this shit going, I would have finished the podcast and just started playing. I wouldn't have told you. I would have lied to you.
All right.
There's no ranking system. You can't see my rank.
I could see your items that you're wearing. You're probably wearing that fucking hot dog costume. You've been playing nonstop.
I would wear the plain skin, bro.
Honestly, that's what I did for a long time. I just wore the plain ass, like just a color, just the basic default stuff. But now, of course, I have gold flames and a white body with a yellow face. And it looks fucking dumb, and I love it.
It's pretty fucking rad. That sounds pretty cool.
It's really dumb. I also got the way that they've changed it, because it used to be you have the same like things that you could purchase for each person. Like you just have the same shit you could buy, whatever. But we found out, I don't know if it's been this way the whole time, but that's just the way that we assumed it was, I guess. Mm-hmm. Now you have a static top layer of like buying like customizable items to buy or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's got like emotes and different parts of your outfits is what you could normally buy, and colors and whatnot. So then it has a bottom layer that's a rotating set of different items and colors and the emotes and all that shit that you can just decide to like get and know that only you have it, right? Uh-huh. So nobody else that I know personally has this color scheme that's like literally like the Monster energy drink colors of like neon green and black. So I could have neon green flames and a black body, which is like the exact opposite of like this kick-ass gold flames and white body. So I love it. It's stupid and it's fun and I love it. It's a great time, man. Other than that, since that's all my game news, work's been fucking great, dude. I don't know, vibing at work with my coworkers, it's dope. But lately Emily has been trying to scare me.
Wait, what? Like scare you as like an adult going boo?
Sure. So I hear this little like metal tinking sound coming from the other room, and I'm like, the fuck is that? And then I look down and I see Emily's crawling on the ground into my office to scare me. And her ring is just hitting the wood and like tinking with each little crawl she takes. And then I don't remember if it was today or yesterday, but again, I saw her hiding behind the counter and her face is just pure red because she's trying so hard not to like laugh and lose it. She's like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever done. Just like crawling on the ground.
Scaring her, trying to scare her boss.
Yeah. It's so fucking funny, dude. I love it. Work's been great. It's been a blast. Just cool, man. Chilling. And then I don't think I've been doing like anything else really substantial. Played some more Ghost of Tsushima. We're still in the third act, having a great time doing dumb shit. I don't know. We're Mongolians now. You get Mongolian armor. So you just walk by Mongolians and like, hey man, what's going on? And you're like, uh-huh.
Just a Mongolian here, no big deal.
And then you kill them. You know.
You still at 11 for avoiding talking about your uncle? For the count, the game within the game.
Oh yeah. We decided if you do 10 in a row, you just win. You just beat the game. It takes you right to the end. Turns out that was a lie that we were told, and we had 10 in a row not talking about our uncle. Didn't teleport to the end of the game. It's bullshit, man.
Fucking lame, bro.
Didn't just win. It's fucking absurd. But our ongoing jumping in the hot spring, jumping in the onsen, thinking about stuff, reflecting, has not made us choose our uncle yet. And we keep thinking, and we're like, ooh, man, what do we want to reflect on? My mom, that sounds like my uncle could come up. I don't want to talk about my mom's.
That's my uncle's sister, so
We're just like, the difficulty of war. We're like, ooh, do we go mom or war? What do we do, man? Uncle likes both of those things. So, yeah, it's a hard game, but we are very successfully avoiding talking about our shitty uncle. And here's the thing, man. I thought Kyle hated the characters and hated the story more than I did in Ghost of Tsushima. I literally do not care about it. But Kyle's at the point where he has interest and he cares about the characters. Because we were talking about this warping point, and we're like, oh yeah, it's somebody's grave or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, it was that old lady that thought that you were your dad or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. And I just keep playing the game. He's like, man, you really don't care about any of these characters, huh? And I'm like, nope. Why? He's like, that was this other character that died's grave. And I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. He died. His boring story came to a boring end because he made some dumb decisions. Just oh, cool, little villager guy. He's a blacksmith. He got captured by the Mongols. And then, you go on and you're fighting with his sister and, saving the world. And he's like, I want to do that too. And you're like, you're not strong enough. Don't do that. You don't know how to fight. And he's like, nah, it's fine. And then he fucking dies. And you're like, what did I tell you? And I'm sitting here yeah, duh, obvious story. Everything that keeps happening is just seems obvious. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. People said that the third act gets dramatic or whatever, and it gets really good and it makes you sad. But I could not care any less about any of these stupid characters that do nothing for me. I feel like their growth is so minimal, and I get it. It's over a short period of time. They shouldn't grow substantially, but all of them come from such terrible points of view. Nobody is great. This guy's yeah, I had a little student. She's a bad guy now. And you're like, oh, that sucks. We'll figure that out. And then he's just obsessed with finding her and killing her and not telling you any information. And I'm like, well, since that guy's not letting us in on his plan, but he wants us to just go along blindly, fuck that guy. That guy fucking sucks. And then he keeps sucking. And I'm like, he just sucks. Whatever. Your uncle is you should be ashamed. You're going against the samurai. You're being an assassin. That's not honorable. He hasn't changed. He still doesn't give a fuck that we saved his life. He's just you're unhonorable and I don't like you. The only interesting character is the one that teaches you how to be sneaky and kill people. That's it. So I like one character and the main character. And there's another chick and she's fine too, but I don't really care about her. She's the one whose brother died. Or something. I don't know. I don't fucking care. They're all the same. There are two of them. There's one that had a brother and one that didn't, and they're both cool. The foxes are the characters that I care about. I don't give a fuck about the story. They're go and do the story thing. Save these people. You're saving the whole country. You're doing amazing. And I'm just you killed my fucking fox? You pay. That's the only good character in this game is the little cute foxes that I get to pet, where they take me to their secret shrines and turn into stone. Sorry, I went off on too much
rant
of a rant
over.
There.
Yeah.
I really don't give a fuck about the story, but the game is beautiful and I love it, and I think so many people should play it. And this story is for other people. It's just absolutely not for me, and I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, you guys.
It's okay. It's okay. You been watching any animes?
Yeah. I guess we can talk about animes that I'm watching. All right, so check it out. Been watching all the regular shit, which I guess we need to reestablish because it's weird now. Because more stuff keeps coming back that is now regular shit that was regular shit months ago. right?
Okay, you do need to explain. Yeah, absolutely. Explain
so let's start out with Appare Ranman. That one came back. We've been watching that. It's fucking good. They're racing. I don't know where you're at, but they for sure made their first stop.
Yeah. On my notes for Wacky Races, I was like, they racing. That's literally what I wrote. I was like, they're finally racing. We see a little more like of what's his name? Toto? No, it's not it. The little Indian boy.
I think it's something like that. Yeah.
So he's trying to get revenge for the murder of his father, and he's dealing with fucking
Crazy JT's gang.
Gil something.
Gil,
Gil the Butcher.
Gil the Butcher and Crazy TJ, and there's another guy, and they're all
one more guy.
They're all part of the same gang, or they're actually just people that kill people. That's what we were talking about. We were like, we don't know what they are.
Well, they used to be a gang of bandits, and they used to be 10 of them, and they were called the 10,000. And then they started dying, and so just kind of now they're the 3,000. So there's only 3 of them left.
Yeah, but even though there are only 3 of them left, it doesn't seem like one of them has a relationship with the other 2. They
don't like each other anymore. I think they're at ends. They're not really in a gang anymore.
They're called that same thing. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Maybe these people are just like fucking killers, because it doesn't explicitly say. It just says they're in a gang, but now there are only 3 of them left, and you could tell that there's bad blood between the 2 and the 1, or they at least don't care about each other, which made me think like, you know what? Maybe they were all just killers, and they were like the killers, and everyone knew about them.
Yeah. Like the Billy the Kids of the times, like the...
Yeah, exactly. They were all Billy the Kids, and they all got their special names, and then they wound up being, oh my God, they're all killing like 1,000 people each. And then they were just a collective force of those killers, but they weren't actually together, right?
They're an art collective of murderers, is what they are.
Yeah. It's like the Postal Service band, They would send tracks to each other. They weren't actually the Postal Service. They weren't actually a band, but they like were kind of thing, but not.
What I do want to say is that I have this theory or this idea that Gil, the butcher or whatever, isn't really the real Gil. Like the guy, he's wearing the mask, he's a big dude, he doesn't say anything, and there's the other guy who's always talking for him. He's just like always ordering people around and be like, hey, you know who that is? That's fucking Gil. And I have this feeling it's not really him. I have a feeling that guy's dead, or he's gonna show up later and be like, yo dude, I hear you fucking posing, heard that you're fronting with my name, and he's gonna kill him or something like that. So I'm excited to see whenever that happens. So I have a feeling that's what it's gonna be. Like it's like leaning towards that.
I can totally see that.
But man,
really had a good time with that episode.
Yeah, they're gonna race through Death Valley next. There's a fucking barricade. Our main character,
shit's going crazy.
Has been shown. He's shown that he actually cares about people. He's not a total asshole. He's just like, I'm gonna stay here and keep fixing this thing because And I was just like, okay, bub.
Like if he's not back, we're fucking going. And then he's of course like, no. We gotta wait. He's back. Yeah. Good, let's go. Exactly. But then like right when they're like, all right, good, let's go. He's like, we upgraded this baby. This baby's a new machine. This baby's unstoppable. And you're just like, damn, okay, calm down, dude. Like he said, it was gonna like forever change, and it was gonna constantly mutate and constantly grow and constantly get better. It was gonna evolve.
Well, it's gonna go to the moon. Apparently, you've read the book, right?
Yeah, that's where it's gonna go. It's gonna go to the moon. Yeah, of course.
I'm excited for this show. I'm really still enjoying it. So yeah,
it's so good. Mm-hmm. In other currently watching old shows or whatever. Dude, I've been waiting for this, but I didn't realize how hard I was waiting for this. Millionaire Detective, Balance Unlimited. Holy shit, it's so much fun. I love it. Man, coming back to it, I'm like, the intro and the outro, it's fucking flashy, it's fun. It's just like a wild-ass detective drama that's like not taking itself seriously all the time. And we got a sweet little buddy episode where it's just like, for some reason I'm mad at my sister, and then you like later find out it's his sister or whatever. It seemed like him and his wife are having issues. He's like, so I told her that I'm going out and I'm not gonna have any money, so can you buy me this dinner, and like, can you buy me this train ride? And he's like, Turns out he's just a big fucking baby. It was so funny. His sister is just so worried about him. Like, he's never been out in the world with no money before. And the guy's just like teaching him. He's like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Here's how you do some like cheap ass shit. Here's how to make this super cheap, delicious meal. It's like a family special. You take some tuna. You take some bean sprouts. You take some like rice. You smash it all together. Boom. Delicious food. And then he comes back to his like rich ass mansion. He's like, I learned a special recipe if you guys wanted to try it. And they're like, yeah, of course, I'm hungry, sure. And he's like, it's this special thing. And he makes it and they're like, holy shit, this is really good. He's like, yeah. So it's a fun, charming show with great animation, and holy fuck, it looks so good. And then you come back and you're like, oh right, it's Cloverworks. Of course I fucking like this shit. Like, yeah, I'm having a great time with it. I want to watch more of it. It's just so much fun. And then at the end of every episode, they do like a breakdown of how much money was spent this episode. And then that one was the cheapest, but the whole plot was they were trying to help this kid find their dog. And they couldn't find it, so they like wound up buying the dog somewhere. Like somebody had the dog, stole it for sale or something. So they bought the dog, and that's like the highest price. Everything else was like, yeah, there was like $20 plus $500. Like,
yeah.
It was great,
like
man.
the cost of tuna and sprouts or whatever.
Yeah, it was like the cost of a train ticket and some like tuna, and that was like it. Nice. Yeah, super fun time. And I forgot about how much fun it was. You know, it feels good to laugh again.
Yeah, it feels good to laugh again. Yeah,
feels good to laugh again. Speaking of laughing again, you watched the new God of High School episode? Not the one from like today, but the one from like, you know, a couple days. It's the one where they finally duke it out,
yes,
man.
That is a lot. Yeah, episode 5 is the last one I've seen. I'm behind one episode because I guess the new one came out. But yeah, I got to see Karate Boy fight Taekwondo Boy, and it was fucking dope.
Yo, it was sick. It was super fun. It was fueled by like anger and emotions and whatnot. And then by the end of it, they were just like laughing and having a good time. And it was a great episode. I really
wanted Karate Boy to win, even after he got the news that he received or whatever. But then I was just like, yeah, but Taekwondo Boy is main character.
He's clearly main character. He's got starry eyes.
He's got stars for eyes. How's he not gonna win? How does he see?
It was fun though. I loved it. It's so much fun. Their fights are really intense and really great. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it was a great episode. I loved it. Yeah, highly recommend God of High School. I didn't think the God of High School was going to be this fucking good, but like, I like it a lot more than the webtoon.
I feel like we didn't talk about it, or at least I don't remember mentioning it. The bumpers in between, you know, like the God of High School, you know, they're so fun. One of my favorite ones is when they're all like 8-bit and they're riding the bicycle all together. Like that one's really good. I like the one where it's just like wacky bullshit. Like it's great. The whole thing is great. Intro, outro. I fucks with both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking makes me feel right here in the big old Corazon. So
it's just sweet, fun little show.
Well, I got hit up by a friend from college recently. He was like, "Hey man, any good anime you can recommend?" I was like, you gotta watch God of High School."
Currently airing or like
no, he said like currently that's out now.
Okay,
like, you gotta watch God of High School. Like it's probably like the best one that's out right now. Like it's really fun. It's really good fights. It's just entertaining. He was like, I'm not really into fighting anime. I was like,
you're into this, just watch it. Fuck you.
I was like, fucking go suck a dick then. I don't know what to tell you. Like like it's really good. It's not just a fighting anime. Fighting is a big part of it, but they do a really good job of developing characters and you know, having like a good story and you know, just like making you care about these people.
What kind of anime does he like?
I'm not really sure. Like I've recommended him shows in the past. He's like, what's the best of the season? But he's never told me like, oh, he likes JoJo a lot. I know that he likes JoJo. So I was like, well, it's not JoJo.
Hang on, he likes JoJo a lot, but he doesn't like fighting.
I don't know. That's why I can't really peg him.
Oh man, it's so people are really like everyone has very different taste, but that's why I really like talking about anime with people that like particular anime or whatever. If they ever find out that I have a podcast, I'm like, yeah, I've seen like a shit ton of anime, and the anime that I haven't seen, I usually know a thing or two about. So can kind of like recommend like, oh yeah, maybe you want to check this thing out. Like even if Fate's not for me, if you like really big series, if you like fights, if you don't mind about ecchi stuff, like sure, check out Fate. Started as like some weird thing and it wound up being this giant corporate mega anime. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Anyways, God of High School episode 5, really good. Maybe we should go watching it. The sixth, like we said, the 6th one just came out, so we'll probably have that done. Hopefully by next week we talk about it. So, what else, man? What other animes have we been watching? Because I've been watching some Rent a Girlfriend, my guy.
Fuck yeah, dude! Rent a Girlfriend is great. I love Rent a Girlfriend. It's trashy. It's not like the best thing out there, but honestly, it looks pretty good, and it's just a fun time. Some people hate it and they think it's just smut, but honestly,
I've seen smut, and this is not smut.
That's what I was. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
people think that just because what they see, like our main character is a piece of shit, is what we're led to believe.
It's a horny 20-year-old one guy. Yeah,
he's horny. He's insecure. He's got all kinds of different issues. Whatever, but that's him. He's growing. We know that that's the whole point of this. Everyone has their times where they're like really needing to grow, and he does. And we have this scene where he's sitting down and he's ready to jerk off to pictures of his ex-girlfriend, and like we straight up get to see him like having these thoughts while he's jerking off. So people are like, okay, yeah, this show is like smut because of that. To me, though, I'm like, this show is like showing us a broken person who's trying to figure shit out and like knows that he shouldn't be doing that. And we're seeing his thought process through everything. And I thought it was really like good that they're able to show that element of things and be that candid about the way that certain people deal with their flaws and deal with that like sexual energy that he doesn't know how to get out, you know?
If he jacks off, what's the big fucking deal, right? Like
I was pictures of his ex is what the big deal is.
I mean, people jack off to pictures of people all the time. I'd be jacking off pictures of Trip right now under the table,
and that's fine because I consent. But when it's your ex, man, I don't know. Things get weird. I'm not about that.
It's also an interesting moment because it's also the same time where he realizes he actually likes the Rent-A-Girlfriend. He's like, oh fuck, I like this girl. I'm like, yeah, you like this girl, you fucking dingus. You jumped off a fucking boat for her, you know, like
yeah. I'm really having a good time.
Yeah, it's a good show. I'm really surprised that they did beach scene and beach episode and then fucking hot springs episode so close back to back.
And grandma episode? Are you kidding me, bro?
Grandma butt was the fucking pinnacle of everything. I was like, you're not going to show me her butt crack, but you're going to show me grandma's butt crack, no problem.
Dude, don't even worry about it, baby. We getting that grandma butt. It's great. The one thing that I really don't like about the show that I at first did like, but now it's way too overused. They constantly play this same track that sounds like a visual novel, like dating sim track again and again. It's this very like, it comes in just suddenly really hard. And normally I like it a lot, but it does it like 3 times an episode. And if it were done that way to like accentuate a funny moment or something like that, it would make sense. But it just comes in kind of like as plot progresses, as like our character is kind of like developing feelings, as characters are talking to each other like honestly and open-heartedly. It just comes in with like but it's like this hard like techno, very chill vibes, like you're at the beach, you're hanging out over and over.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, it's
I get what you're saying. And I've noticed it too. I don't hate it though, but I can imagine it does become taxing, especially for someone who likes the music element of a lot of things. Like you're just a huge fan of like soundtracks, you know, just the foley of things. Like, so I don't notice that as much as you do. So I can imagine it wearing on you more than it does me.
Yeah, it's coming in really hard for me. That's my only complaint. I love the show. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just saying, I noticed that and was like, they need to stop. I'm just hearing it a little bit too much.
It's no God of High School, but still pretty good.
It's still pretty good. Digimon didn't do anything super crazy. It's just, you know, it's Digimon, but they're
they still digital monsters.
Yeah, they still are.
Okay.
There's of course been Orgamon. His name's not Ogremon, even though I'm pretty sure it used to be Ogremon in the original series. He's Orgamon. He's this goblin motherfucker with like a big old club and like
I know
horns.
exactly. Yeah.
So you know the big boy. Anyways, he turned around and he started helping the Digidestin when they were fighting a dark metal Tyrannomon, I think is what it was. You know.
Sure, whatever.
It's just this thing that's like shooting nukes up into the sky, and they're like, oh man, we all got to Digivolve and solve this problem. And then Orgamon is like, I'll fucking help you because I've been betrayed because this was my job. And they sent this fucker in, I got you. And yep.
Cool.
So, okay, there's that. And then still watching Lapis Relights. We got to meet this cool ghost girl. I like her a lot. She forgets that she's a ghost and she's afraid of ghosts. So she just like walks through walls and she's like, yeah, it's just my magic. Like, I know it freaks some people out.
But she's actually dead.
You're literally a ghost. Yeah. And there's a character who other characters can't touch or they pass out. Like she just has some curse thing about her. But then because this ghost witch is a demi-human, she's able to touch this other girl. So they're going to become like a tight little team. She's like, oh, cool. And they like hug or whatever. Like, oh my God, it's so cold. And I love it. I just like ghost shit. They also had this pretty cool, also pretty freaky element of housing, like lodging in the forest. They have these blankets with zippers on them and they toss them onto some trees and they open up little like carpet blanket things. And they go inside and it's a big old like everything's made out of wood, but they have like chairs and bed and it's
I've seen Harry Potter. I get it. It's cool. That's pretty cool.
But they just throw it on like a few trees and they hop in there. And I don't know, man, that kind of shit freaks me out. I don't know what it is about it, but it's something about a dimension being larger than the space that it occupies.
So a bag of holding really fucking scares you.
Yeah, if I got sucked into a bag of holding, or like if somebody was just like, check out in here, and it's like way too much shit, like way bigger than the actual space, that shit like conceptually is rad as hell, but like seeing it visually freaks me out.
Was the blue turtle from Tower of God, was his bag of holding, or was it also like a bag of multiplying? Because it did multiple things, right?
It multiplied and it held.
That must
or maybe
really
it didn't multiply. Maybe it did. He
though.
Just had maybe he just had a fuckload of those things though.
But he just had a shit ton of like crowns on hand. Remember, he put the crown in and
I remember.
You remember that? You remember?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it multiplied, but I'm also second guessing myself.
I think it's a multiplier. That is pretty dope though. But I get it. If you're afraid of it, you're afraid of it. It's fine.
Scary.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been fun. I think there's something else that I'm watching on Crunchyroll, right? Isn't there another Crunch? Crunch Tindo?
I don't think so. I can pop it in real quick and check it out though.
I mean, I can too. So let's do that together.
Who's doing the quickest though?
We don't know, man. Misfit Demon King Academy. Yeah, so
nailed it.
We did it, man. Yeah, it's been fun. It's fun. It's nothing special. It's just some cool magic fights. They get big old castles. They fight each other. They make friends through fights. They're cute characters. They're hot characters. There are lots of hot boys. Let me just tell you, I am into these demon boys. But we got Best Mom. I'm committing to it. Best Mom, Demon King Academy.
Is it the Demon King's mom?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Because she's just this young ass mom, and the way that she got her Demon King is they were supposed to have a baby, and then there were complications. So she like prayed to God for anything like to happen so that her baby could come through. Turned out she actually didn't pray to God.
Pray to the devil.
Yeah, whoopsie daisy, little mix up. And then the Demon King became her baby. So she was still able to have a baby. And she's just super supportive. And so is the dad. And he loves his parents too. And they're all sweet. But he's only like, he's not old. He's like
6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a little baby. But he's a full grown adult. So they're just like, oh, we just love him so much and he grows so fast, and they don't think he's the Demon King or anything. They're just like, we just support you so much, son. And the mom went to like this tournament that he was going to be in, and she's all supportive and whatnot, and he's like, hey, where's dad? And then she's like, oh, Dad's just not here right now. Don't know where he's at. Definitely nothing weird going on. Bye. And the dad comes. He's like, I was getting this for you, son. I just wanted to get this to support you. And he was out like on some quest to get some special thing in the mountains to bring back to his son as like an extra little encouragement. Doesn't realize his son's the Demon King or anything. I love it, man.
I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I had a dream, I don't know, sometime this last week or the week before, that the Crunchyroll Awards was announced and that Best Mom had made the list. And I was losing my shit. I was like, we did it! Trip, we did it!
Dude, if it's there, I will fucking lose my mind, dude. I'm just waiting for the next Crunchyroll. Let's just fast forward 6 months or whatever.
Yeah, and we're like, oh, Miles, our boy, he listened,
did it.
He listened to us, man. He knew what the people wanted, and fucking delivered it. I don't know, man. I'm glad that you found a mom that you really like, but I don't watch that show, so I can't say she's best mom for me. Just can't say it.
It's okay, man. If you go and you want to watch episode 6, 5,
just 5,
6. I think it's 6. Good ass time with parents.
I did like the mom in the first episode where she was like made him soup and she was like, "What's your intentions with my son?" And like she was really fun, and the dad was
she's
there. So yeah,
great, dude. She's just like, she's as old as him, but like he's ancient. But like they look like they're the same age, but the mom is still acting like a mom. Like, oh, you're my precious little baby. I love it so much. So yeah, that's what's up, man.
That's good, man. That's dope.
Yeah, I'm looking here. I guess news. Crunchyroll has a podcast now. Crunchyroll's first oral history podcast, Anime in America. So check that out, I guess.
They didn't hit us about it. Oof. Guess they didn't want your boys to be a part of it.
Podcast review of the podcast, baby.
That kind of hurts. We're going to review their podcast. Oh, dude, we should review their podcast. How funny would that be? We're like, yeah, it's good. It's not the best anime podcast to listen to in the world, but it's good.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, man. Do you want to do news, I guess? Because we just kind of started?
No.
All right.
I just happened to see this. I'm not ready for news. I have more to talk about.
No, you don't. You don't have any other animes to talk about.
There was a long silence because we looked at each other for those of you that are just listening.
There was like there's like a 3-second silence, which sounds like a lot on a podcast.
It is. It's fucking just dead air.
We edited out the 10 minutes of us just staring at each other.
We edited that out. Yeah, I watched more anime. What the fuck are you going to do about it?
Okay, hold on. First of all, Legend of Korra doesn't count as anime. We already explained this.
I haven't watched any more Legend of Korra.
Okay, well, Avatar the Airbender also doesn't count.
So while I was playing Fall Guys, I was thinking, you know what? Pretty cash. I want something on in the background, though, because I don't want to get like too into it. I'm trying to get ready for bed or just chill out or whatever the fuck.
Wait, you were trying to get ready for bed while playing Fall Guys?
No, like I was just planning my night. I'm like,
oh, okay.
I don't want to be way too into it and then start something else too. Like, I don't know what I want to do. So it was like 7 or whatever. So I decided to put on Trigun while I was playing.
Whoa, yeah, just a blast from the past.
Blast from the past. Let me tell you, these are the things. Square-ass TV looks like shit. Old-ass animation. Fucking slow and weird. But, man, even though the first episodes don't do shit towards the plot, they do some really cool character development stuff that I wish other shows would do, where they're able to make an interesting episode, give you an interesting plot for each episode with an interesting set of characters while emphasizing one particular point about this character and building upon them. So like it starts out with Vash the Stampede. Nobody knows who he is. We're trying to figure out who he is, what he did, why he's got this giant bounty on his head of 60 billion double dollars. And
dollars.
I know, right?
That's so double dumb.
It's so dumb. I love it. So it opens with this scene of a saloon being just like fucking shot up like crazy, and our boy Vash is just chilling. He's just drinking his drink at the bar. The saloon sign crashes down in front of him, protects him from the like whole flurry of bullets, and he emerges unscathed. And then it winds up being this whole like, oh, who's Vash the Stampede? Is it the giant guy that just attacked the man that survived that, or is it the man that survived that? Oh, it turns out there's another guy who's a bounty hunter. Oh, but he might be Vash the Stampede. So there's this whole like, what's going on? It's goofy. That's the plot of the episode. And really it's just emphasizing that Vash is talented, but he's also very skilled at seeming like he's nobody and is just like fitting in with the crowd as best as he can. And he's kind of goofy. That's the whole point of the first episode. The second episode, it shows that he is loyal to people and doesn't question them until there's a reason to question their motives. And as soon as like that reason comes to light and he's very clear about it, he's able to switch sides. So he really just goes with whatever the best path is, and he wants to help out whoever is in the right and whoever does the best. So he's trying to help out good boys in the second episode, and eventually he gets there and figures out what's actually going on. We just keep emphasizing these different parts of his character where like we find out he's goofy but talented and blends in. We find out he seeks the truth and wants to better wherever he comes in contact with. And then he helps out people just like regardless. He meets a drunk person that he knows is the person he's looking for, but he kind of tricks them and winds up proving like, hey, people need to stand together, and when you stand together with each other, everyone can protect each other. So the whole town stands up to these bandits who claim that they're Vash the Stampede. And then you have another element of like going further on. He again plays an imbecile who switches sides, and he's like suddenly very compassionate towards these bandits that are capturing this girl. He's like, I don't support the way you're doing it, but since we're already here, I'm going to fucking help you out because these people are corrupt and you should totally fight against them, but you need to make right. So he helps them out. And then it winds up being this whole other thing. And you wind up realizing like throughout these episodes, he isn't killing anyone. Like he's saving people. This town like finds out that there's a big bounty on him and it would really save the town if they had that bounty, if they like had all that money. So the whole town tries to capture him, and it winds up destroying the town in certain ways. And he's like, no, don't do this. You guys don't want to do this. Please stop. And eventually like saves a whole bunch of people who are all about to be hurt by this other force that they called in that also is like a bad person, like Vash is supposed to be. So it just keeps building on like the different ways that his character does good things and explores that option until the episode that I got to last, which has great fight sequences, where he meets up with this woman who she's supposed to come and help the power plant out in this town that needed all this help. And so she gets there, and Vash is there to help out in any way that he can. And he hires her as like a bodyguard essentially. And then she's like, oh, no, you're not going to come and hang out with me because like even though we have this flirty relationship.
He hires her as a bodyguard or the other way around?
No, she hires him as a bodyguard.
Okay, is this a blonde lady?
Yeah. No. The blonde lady's in the second episode.
Oh, okay.
I think she might have brown hair. I can't remember because I was playing Fall Guys at the time too. Anyways, yeah, she hires him as a bodyguard, and then he gets attacked in his room, and they like swapped rooms. It was a whole thing that was supposed to look like, you know, she's being attacked. So he protects himself, and that bad guy goes like flying out the door. And then there's a malfunction happening at the power plant, and he winds up like getting trapped in there with that assassin person. But he's trapped in there by the woman that hired him. And he's like, hey, help me out. Let me out of here. And she's just like, no, I'd never let you out. Like, I don't want you to be happy. I don't want you to live. Fuck you. And he's like, whoa, what did I do? And she's like, you destroyed my entire town, and people have suffered for like ever because of you. You ruined my life. You ruined my family's life. You ruined the life of so many people I loved. I'll never forgive you. And then he's in this power plant, and he has a dope fight. He then communicates with the power plant somehow and starts doing crazy magic shit. And you're like, all right, so magic's apparently a part of this show, I guess. I don't know. And then it goes on to show that he was also the person that went and comforted this little girl and saved her as she was starving and dehydrated. He like comes and protects her and is able to get her to safety and help her. So this person that she's hated her whole life is also the person that she has loved her whole life and like looked up to. And he's the person that protected her. So you learn that he has this, even though people keep talking about his past and you don't know exactly what he did, you learn that he has this past of a lot of conflict, but a lot of compassion. So the character that we do know is still the character that's been around for a long time, that people are talking about as if he's destroyed this entire town and he's decimated it, and we still don't know what happened there at this point in the show. But man, the way that they just slowly unveil how he's a goofball, but he's talented. He's like genuinely talented, and he always supports the truth. And then he wants everyone to be protected. He can change people's lives. He has changed people's lives. He's got some mysterious, mystical shit going on with him. The way that they're slowly unveiling it is the way that shows should always do it. And I feel like we got that in Tower of God pretty good. Like, we got to learn more about the characters as they went on, but it was never a focal point of a specific character in Tower of God. It was always just like, oh, cool, we get to learn a little bit more about the princess. Oh, cool, we get to learn more about this princess. Oh, sweet, Bam's this, Rachel's this. Just learning more and more about that. But with Trigun, it was so specifically, it's just about our main character. Our other characters are fun and supportive, but they don't have as much depth to them. And it really focuses on this character influences the world in ways that you'll find out soon. And I haven't gotten that from an anime in a long time. And I think that that's why Trigun stands so true as like one of the best anime that I've ever seen. But its pacing and its narrative and its animation just do not stand up to modern standards.
Would you be down for like a
100%
Trigun reboot?
100%, dude.
100%?
Yeah, when they came out with Trigun Badlands Rumble or whatever the fuck it's called, the movie that came out in 2010 or 11, somewhere around there. That shit was fucking great. I was so stoked, but it was not Trigun. It was Trigun's characters, Trigun's setting, similar stuff, but instead of going along with like the darker, more nuanced story, they were just like, it's just a goofy, who knows, you just gotta fight your way out and do a bunch of gun battles. These dead characters are alive and it's just totally different. Did not support the story.
Maybe I should watch that. That sounds pretty good.
It's fun. I had a fun ass time with it. You could watch it on Funimation. You could watch it on Hulu. Yeah. By the way, I am watching Trigun on Funimation because I started it on Hulu just because it's a faster streaming platform. But then because they have commercials that they added in that wasn't a part of the show when it was first airing, they have fade outs at really weird points.
Ooh.
Because instead it's just like this half of the show, commercial. This half of the show. That's how it normally is. They're like, here's this third of the show, weird commercial. Get to the halfway point, just like it feels like it's a commercial, but it's not. And it stops at like the 2/3 through, and it gives you another like fade out into a commercial with a slow fade in. It feels weird, and I did not like that. So I went over to Funimation, and Funimation was like, yeah, man, we got you. It's just like the old ass show you were watching. And since it's all in English, I don't have to read it. I don't have to pay attention. And it feels like the classic show that I once watched. Which, again, the voice acting during that era was so fucking good. And still good now. Voice acting for different anime. But something about that time just felt very like, oh, yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Well, that was Tripp's retrospective on Trigun, the first 3 episodes. And yeah, man, it's good. I'm glad you were able to watch something nostalgic like that.
And then I read The Promised Neverland, book 16.
Who died? Don't tell me. No, don't spoil it.
Did any characters die? I don't think any characters died.
Oh, thank God.
At least no characters present day. Because we did get some history, dude. We got some in the past, little like, hey, here's some stuff that happened 1,000 years ago kind of stuff.
The before time, huh?
And what we got to see, because, zero spoilers for this, other than, I guess, here, let me talk to you for a second. The kind of world that they're in, for people that have only seen the TV show, people that have only seen the first episode of the TV show, we've got kids, we've got demons, we've got technology. They're at an orphanage with this like crazy technology for like their testing, clearly. So they have some kind of technology, right? And in order to get there, there are a lot of different steps that naturally, like, as humans, we have made to get to the point where we could do technology, right?
I've seen Dr. Stone. You don't have to talk down to me, bro.
All right, so Dr. Stone aside, it goes back and it shows you, like, people in knight uniforms and whatnot.
Ooh,
with swords.
Olden days.
Yeah. So it's like way back in the day. I'm like, what the fuck is Promised Neverland? People in fucking whole ass armor outfits. This is Nazis. So yeah, we got to see some back in time stuff with that, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, I just wanted to see kind of what you think. How did this get to the point that it is? Yeah, like they're in this world where demons have orphanages of children, or at least one.
My kind of that's hard because my assumption was just like throwing shit out, like throwing stuff.
I'm also not going to spoil stuff by telling you if you're right or wrong, but I just want to kind of like, I just want to see your perspective as somebody who knows like everything that happens. And while I'm reading it, I'm like, there's just more to consume. I don't have time to think about, theorize.
I thought like maybe it was demons had always just been around. Like just like since forever in whatever kind of world this is. I don't know if it's Earth or whatever. I don't know if it's supposed to be Earth, but they just always been there, and they allowed humanity to evolve naturally, and that's where they got all their technology. That was one, one thought. Two was either like humanity evolved naturally. They did technology, all that stuff, and then demons came to the world, right? And then a long time happened, and they did the whole thing where some of the demons team up with some humans to start the farms kind of stuff.
And I think that they did mention like years and dates in the first season, because they were talking a little bit about books and whatnot.
Well, they have a calendar. They have they go, okay, well, I was born in June, whatever. So like they have a way to tell time.
Yeah, so it does have the year that it is, and it's like it's in the mid 2000s. It's like 2060, whatever,
But like the idea is like, is it 2060 after the demons took over? Like they start back at zero and they go, this is
I know, yeah. So that's the thing,
kind of thing.
Yeah. The whole time I'm like, so this is 1,000 years before the point that we're at. And I see people dressed in like knights uniforms, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. And then in the modern time of that we're watching in Promised Neverland, the way they dress also feels very old timey, very,
but not like knights old timey.
No. Yeah. Old timey like leather shoes, with heels on them,
maybe like colonized, like the early colonies of the U.S. kind of stuff, or like a little bit after that. Kind of
like around. I thought more of like early, like industrial period of.
So
like
you're thinking like 20s, 40s.
Yeah, like around the time where like Downton Abbey would happen, around that kind of bit, before World War II, after World War One.
Yes, of course, yes.
You don't have a footman? Everybody needs a footman. Everybody needs a footman. Everybody needs a butler. Fuck, dude. Don't even get me started on my footman and my butler.
Yeah, man. Promised Neverland is just constantly surprising me. Even though we're this far along in it, I'm still just like, what the fuck? This whole book, 16, was the wildest book. We got some answers. We got some questions. We got my new favorite character, which I didn't think was going to happen. I'm just going to straight up tell you that she came in, and I was like,
girl.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, she came in, and I was so surprised by what her deal was. It felt so like, well, this isn't like anyone else. And then it kept emphasizing like, oh, okay, so she's just, okay, I get it. And then it tells her whole backstory. And I'm immediately like, yeah, I already thought I was going to love this character. And now she's my fucking favorite character, like in seconds. Yeah, absolutely. So it feels good when you're like, I hope this character is one that I love. And then is immediately validated. Oh, have you had that?
Never.
Recently?
Not once. Yeah, probably recently.
Yeah? What are you thinking?
Not in anime, just like in television.
Yeah,
fucking Survivor. I see a person show up and I go, I'm gonna like him. I
can
tell. Yeah. And then he does stuff like, yeah, I fucked with that guy. But I also sometimes I get fucking confused and I go, I think this person would be great. And then they just come up and like, they go, I'm a total asshole. Here's the N word. And they go, what are you doing, guy?
How's that
Not
happen?
On television. Anyways, I'm cool. I'm super excited that you're still reading The Promised Neverland because you're reading it legally as opposed to all those fucking.
I mean, it's already like it's pretty much dunsies. So
stop! Don't spoil it.
Anyways, I'm very excited about season 2. They are putting out promotional images. I did see that. 2. You saw Emma dressed up in like some winter clothes. Yeah,
I was trying to see if that bitch's ear was missing, but I saw 2 lobes, so I think they either fucked up or maybe they didn't cut off the entire ear. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Time for you to find out.
Yeah. Season 2. What's the status of her ear?
Remember, they just wanted to cut off the lobe, but then they slipped.
Yeah, they did slip. Oh, right. What's his face cut his ear off? I don't remember. No, I don't remember anymore. It's been so long.
It was Emma.
Okay, all right. That bitch cut her ear off.
Shit. Plan just went haywire, and she's like, we just had to.
Someone's like, got to cut off the ear. Yeah.
Dude, Promised Neverland. Oh, fuck yeah. Hey, you want to talk about news?
Yes, fucking please, finally.
Little show you may have heard of, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. The second season is going to come out in 2021. Whoop, whoop. Baby.
That show's super popular. I think it looks really cool visually. It's not the show for me, but I'm excited for people who like that show.
Kyoto Animation kills it with their Kyoto Animation. So yeah, I'm stoked for people that are into it. We're gonna pass because first season wasn't for us. Sorry, homies. Another thing that wasn't for us, but people fucking love, and I'm stoked for y'all. Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku. It's getting a new anime episode. So not a second season right now, but the manga's still going on. They get another episode. People are hyped.
I heard that they had like a live action movie that was actually really well received too. So
yeah,
good for them. Yeah, this is again was another show that we weren't really feeling, but it has its merit. And people
it looked good. It had some good points going on. Just wasn't really looking for this kind of a rom-com. Which, by the way, Ride Your Wave is a romance. Just so you guys know, like we'll eventually get to talk about it. Don't worry, whatever. Hey, Gintama The Final is a new anime movie that's going to premiere January 8th, 2021.
That's cool. I like me some Gintama.
Which may be the end of Gintama?
I'm not dedicated. I mean, it could, or knowing Gintama, it could also be like a joke. And it's like, it's the final, but it also kind of starts all over because, you know, they're super fucking meta and funny like that. So it could mean something, could mean absolutely nothing.
Last up, Beastars is getting a second season in January 2021.
We did it, boys. We fucking did it.
Do you want to go over like all the big shows that are coming out that season?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
January.
Fucking hit me with it.
All right, so Beastars, second season.
Banger.
Promised Neverland, second season.
Banger.
Dr. Stone, second season.
Probably not a banger. Probably still gonna watch it though.
The Quintessential Quintuplets, second season.
Banger, not for me, but I know it's a banger. Okay.
Yeah. ReZero season 2, part 2.
That's like the world's biggest banger. People love that shit, and we don't even like it.
Crazy as shit. Log Horizon season 3.
Whoa, that's right. That's just coming back.
I told you, crazy as shit.
What a banger. Okay, cool. Season 3 after so long.
Cells at Work season 2.
Banger. Educational banger.
Cells at Work Black.
I'm really excited for this one, okay?
Dude, that's a banger. I got 5 big ones already.
I'm prematurely calling it a banger. That's a banger.
Non Biori season 3.
Is that the country chicks?
Yeah.
Ah, banger. Oh, that's so good.
Laid Back Camp season 2.
Boo, not a banger. I mean, people do like that show.
Crazy shit. The 7 Deadly Sins season 4. Is it a banger? I don't really know.
Who the fuck knows? It depends on who's drawing it, honestly.
Yeah, who's doing the animation.
Dude, that's wild.
That time I got reincarnated as a slime season 2. What the fuck, dude? If you ever watch anime, that's the season that you like. It's either, yeah, we got so much anime, or Jesus Christ, there's so much anime.
That's so tough because, well, first of all, I feel like all that might be tentatively depending on how COVID hits. Like if something happens, I can imagine all that getting pushed back again. But I will say that a lot of those you do have to have some pre-knowledge. You have to watch the season before. So it might not be the most readily accessible season for people to kind of just jump on this amazing ride for anime. There's only a few of those that were like new, right? But all that being said, if you are caught up with those shows, you are in for an amazing time. Like, it's like gonna melt your brain. That's how good that anime is. Like, there's some of those shows that I'm not caught up with, like, but I for sure am gonna catch up with to be able to watch them. Even the little minuscule ones, like even just like I think there's 3 I can like watch off the top. I'm super excited for them.
Yeah,
Promise
you get
Neverland,
to watch Promise Neverland.
Beastars, fucking Dr. Stone too. Yeah, it's just that's super cool, man. That's exciting to have. It's gonna be sucky for the seasons after anime because there's like, yo, dude, we blew our load in January. That's all we had. They got nothing else.
I mean,
to give you.
Here's another thing. Attack on Titan is supposed to be on schedule for a fall release. So we're about to get that soon, and I don't know how long it's gonna be. I don't know if they're splitting it up like they have in the past, but like it might carry into that fall, like winter crossover. It
could get pushed. Who knows? Maybe they push it back. Like just like, hey, let's just drop it in January. Have it fucking duke it out to see
who's the best anime,
who reigns supreme in anime. Yeah,
who makes it into Crunchyroll's lineup. Like maybe January is a lot better for the old Crunchyroll Awards, right?
Yeah, man. That's super dope. That's a lot of good stuff.
Isn't it? That's all the anime news I have. I just thought that last thing was hella fun.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, Beastars
coming your way.
Oh, fuck. We're going to have so much fun. I mean, we're not going to be able to watch Beastars
in January. Yeah, we don't, be clear. We don't get it in January. We get it y'all. 4 months after when it's done.
When we come around to it in May, it's going to be a great time. Don't worry about that, babies. Let's talk about this week's topic, Ride Your Wave. Directed by Masaaki Yuasa, made by the studio Science SARU. They do all the shit that we always talk about, but most recently on Netflix, Japan Sinks 2020. We have our favorite Night of Short Walk On Girl. There's Lou Over the Wall.
Galaxy.
Yep. Ping Pong, the animation. And we watch weird
Eizouken?
ones here and there.
Do they do Eizouken
Keep
too?
your hands off Eizouken.
Yes, they do really good stuff, and a lot of it's very different. Like it all feels like it's like you can tell it comes from the same studio. You can tell that the same director's working on it.
But the animation does a really feels very unique.
Yeah,
every time. Like Lou Over the Wall is clearly the closest to this because it's water.
Water, yeah.
But like this one definitely feels different.
But
like,
there was like Devilman Crybaby vibes in it too, like the way things were animating and the pretty boys with the pretty hairs and stuff. But yeah, man, it was gorgeous. It was like
absolutely
flat out
stunning.
One of the most beautifully animated, visually fucking things I've seen in a very long time. Camera angles, fucking the way they would stretch things. They're not afraid to do like a bunch of like like shots that don't really make sense. Like you couldn't probably shoot that shot realistically with an actual camera. The way they foreshorten things, the way they extend things, it looks really fucking good.
Like those, are you thinking of like when her boxes were falling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, that was so good.
It was. Yeah. Explain the plot of the movie, like a general plot.
Thing. So we have a girl who is a surfboarder. She comes back to this oceanside town, every so often, and we find out that there is a firefighter boy who has been eyeing her for a while now, and
like in the ocean, like he'll watch her surf.
Yeah. While he's doing his firefighter stuff, and they become entangled in a romantic relationship. They become boyfriend and girlfriend, and they have like a really good time. And then tragedy strikes. And then we have to
This is like revealed in the trailers and the plot and stuff, so it's fine.
Tragedy strikes, which I didn't know. Dude, I did not know this happened. Sierra jokingly said it offhandedly. She's like, "Oh, something bad's gonna happen." She said like, someone's gonna die, and I was like, whatever. And then someone dies, and then the rest of the movie for a while is the character dealing with the loss of someone. And like moving on and growing and stuff, and it was really surprising. I didn't know this was a rom-com going in. Even though we might have talked about it or mentioned
call it a rom-com.
No, I mean, sorry, a romantic
It's
thing.
Just a romantic drama. It's great.
Yeah, there are funny things in it. It's for sure like an entertaining thing. But that's like a very, very broad stroke of what the story is. Like it's just couple, they're together, one of them dies. and then super sad, and then happiness in the end, kind of thing. Like it's like,
I mean, movies resolve however they have to resolve, and overall, it was it kept surprising me. I kept thinking it was one thing, and then it kept being another, and I had such a fun time with it. It starts out as just this very sweet little introduction. Girl's new in town. She just moved there. She doesn't know her way around. She's going by the fire academy and whatnot. And she's talking to like whoever. There's this dorky character who's a sweetheart. And our main dude is looking after him as like an accomplished firefighter. He's essentially saying like, hey, keep doing it, man. You have it in you. You can be better than me. I see that in you. Keep doing it. I'm like, fuck, that guy is so supportive and so goddamn rad. I love him. And then the chick just seems like she's just a chill, regular person. She's a surfer. We find out she's kind of a klutz who, who would have thunk this cool, collected surfer girl's a klutz? It's fun. It gets really fun learning who the characters are and following their journey. And she teaches the firefighter boy, the like very cool, supportive one, how to surf. That's how they connect. He's like, hey, teach me how to surf. And she's like, fuck yeah, let's go surfing.
After he very, romantically saved her from a fire.
Fire starts. There were some fireworks. Things got out of hands. Don't shoot fireworks off unless you're in a designated like fireworks area, man.
Or like a trained professional.
Yeah,
like a fucking street rat.
Yeah, don't do that.
Piece of shit.
Don't rat it up. So anyways, they do a little bit of surfing. They do a little bit of coffeeing. They do a little bit of fooding. God, this movie's gorgeous. I wanted to eat so bad. I wanted coffee so bad. All that like, oh, you have to let the grounds of the fresh coffee bloom, and you pour it in a circular pattern for the pour over coffee to get the freshest taste. I'm like, yep, me too. Know all about that.
I don't even like coffee, and it did look really like I felt like I could smell it through the screen. Like it's like that's how vivid it felt. Like it felt very.
I mean, this isn't like Kyoto animation, beautiful, gorgeous. Like, oh man, that's the best looking thing. This is a very stylized but gorgeous. Like,
yeah,
you're a part of this world when the food's around. Like when everything else is happening, you're like, oh, this is sure. But then when the food's around, you're like, yeah, I'm here. It's 100%. I'm in that world. I don't know what it is about it.
I wanted to eat a burger so bad after they took a bite of those fucking honking burgers. I was like, motherfucking yeah, bro.
Baby.
Even later in the movie when like two other characters are pouring brown sugar in coffee, I was just like, that brown sugar looks so good though. And it's just little crystals. But yeah, it is. I was very surprised like how things progress with them, like, romantically. I was like, oh cool. But then I get that realistically, that's how it works for some people. Sometimes it's just very effortlessly to fall in love with somebody and like become that like mesh so well. I was like, oh nice. Totally. I'm glad that like we got to see that kind of relationship.
Loved it. I am such a sucker for shit like that. Like immediately I was into their relationship and I supported both of them and I loved them. Like, I'm here for you guys. I support you. And I feel like in most things it doesn't happen. It doesn't like click like that. But they had really strong, really great characters with fun, interesting personalities that I wanted to just see more of. And I wanted to see them get along and learn more about each other and just be supportive and the best. And as the story goes on, it very quickly establishes these characters do get along great. And they know this song and they sing the song and it's their song, and then we get to see them singing their song through this compilation of them getting to know each other, and it just felt like such an honest, fun bit of the movie where they're singing it and it's kind of like a karaoke thing, but he's playing his own little like ukulele and she's singing along and they're laughing and having fun throughout the whole song. God,
it felt very genuine.
I loved it.
I will say that like I was enjoying that part of them just like falling in love and dating so much to the point where I was like, you know what? I was thinking to myself, that I don't need a conflict. Like I'd be cool with just another 40 minutes of them just dating.
I 100% would have been. I mean, it's very similar to like Train Man, how you're just so supportive of the main character and you're like, come on, man, you got this. But for this, I was like, I want to see you guys be happy forever, and I just love you.
and then like the sad bit happens, and I go, oh, why? My entire world is crumbling around me. Like, how could they do this to me?
But then
No.
they have that repeating theme of the song that they sang, the song that they knew and love. It just keeps being repeated throughout the movie. And I watched this with our buddy Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, he was like, it was good. I was getting pretty tired of that song, though. I was like, nah, I want more of it. I understand where you're coming from, but I love it.
I will say I do kind of agree with Kyle a little bit.
Yeah.
I was getting, the song was wearing on me, and it wasn't because it was them using it over and over, like as a gimmicky thing. Like, I understand why it was part of the story. I just didn't like the song. I like this. I wish it would have been like a different type, like a better song,
Yeah.
But then I think about it as like when they first like, this song is from their childhood, so that's the type of music they heard in their childhood or whatever, because like
it's like an older song.
It's an older song, so it's just like, oh, okay, that makes sense that that's the song of that era. It's like it's not like now poppy music. It's like it's old pop music. It's like, oh, okay,
exactly.
And like I understood why it sounded that way
and what it represented and everything. I loved it, but it's also it's not like I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to this song unless I had seen the movie and it represented something differently. Because I honestly, I loved the song and I loved its incorporation with the plot. And they kept reusing it again and again. And I think that it definitely emphasized different aspects of the character and different like problems that just... the more that it goes on and the more that you watch and learn about these characters, the more that you realize why this song was so important to them. And like, if you listen to the lyrics and whatnot, it's also fun. Just the whole thing with the song was so good, but it needed to be repeated over and over. And it needed to feel like it was always there and it's always going to be there in order for it to accomplish what it did.
Yeah, no. Yeah. It's a good point.
I loved it. But yeah, if you do get tired of shit easily, you will get tired of that song, I guess. So that's like, that's the one thing that I would say if you might not like about this movie. Yeah. Because I loved that element of it. I wanted more song. I loved it, but I get it. It's not for everyone.
I feel like that's a fair point. I wouldn't say it was bad. It wasn't a bad song. I was just like, oh, okay. I've heard this song a lot now today. So I'm trying to get into a point where like I want to talk about things, but I don't want to spoil it because I want to save that for spoilers, where we actually break things down. But so in the trailer, do we see what happens? Is that like a... Yeah, so we know who dies. It's not like a... Okay, cool. So I guess I can mention that, right? That's fine.
I mean, we don't really know that it was a death in the trailer, but yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about it. So the main characters, the new boy, what do you call him? The heroic, no, the good firefighter, is that what you call them? Or
supportive?
The supportive firefighter.
Yeah.
The one that gets taught how to, surf and stuff. Though he ends up passing away, and that leads to our, his girlfriend having to deal with his loss and stuff. And it's really, I don't know, like it's sad to watch, especially after watching, I don't know, 30 minutes of them being so in love. To her have this, and her being a super like positive, happy character going through like these hard times, and maybe not having the most supportive people around her, dealing with that kind of stuff. That was really hard to watch. As like for someone like I'm, someone who's married, I was like, that would fucking suck if my wife were to die or whatever. Like, and then I don't know how I would handle that. And I feel like they did a really good job of like, her. Representing her, like her sadness and how she felt, and they depicted it very well. So I feel like a realistic point, and not like an over the top point, where I was just like, this is annoying. It was just more like there's bits where like people are giving her random things, and everything she sees kind of reminds her of him, and it's like she can't get a grip on anything. So she starts crying and stuff. So there's a lot of crying.
And all of it's just super understandable though. Everything you see, you're like, yep, of course, yep.
And this also leads to her like seeing her boyfriend in water, like seeing him in water and like manifesting himself in water. And we had to talk about this on like before we started recording about like whether this was her like her mental, manifesting this to make her grow and like deal with her loss, or if this is some sort of like magical element. And we'll talk about what it actually is later. But it was handled like to a point where like you and I were guessing the whole time, like
totally. Well, but I was okay with either result, like whether or not it was a manifestation of her, just like
coping with this.
Yeah, it was a coping mechanism. Yeah. Or if it was some real magic shit.
The actual some magic shit. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm there sitting like watching this, like not saying anything to Sarah, like what the fine like fucking tooth comb. Like,
yeah,
like,
you're just trying to figure it out.
I'm like, is it real magic? Or is she just losing her fucking mind? You know, or like, you know, it's like one of those two things. Because other characters do talk to her, like she seems to be going through a lot of stuff. But then when we see her with him, it's just like, no, I saw that water float out of the, you know, in the sky or whatever. You know, so it's shit like that where it's like it's done very well, and I really appreciated it. And I did like at the end getting an answer, like a definitive answer to what it actually was. But the whole time it had me like questioning, and I liked that. I liked the fact that it wasn't just like boom, blatantly in your face at the very beginning, or as another thing where like it was never ever cleared. It was just the whole time it's very quiet, and like we had the, you know, the whole fucking Kite from Japan Sinks 2020 where it's like, did he die or didn't he? Woo, kind of thing. Is he still alive? You know, like it was very clear as to what the overall resolution of that was. Yeah, so it's great. This is a great movie. Great side characters. Like he has the buddy that was his like the not so good firefighter Wasabi, who we see him grow throughout the movie. So like even though we're seeing all this other stuff up, we see other characters develop.
Oh yeah, I mean essentially we have 4 characters.
Yeah, we have
we have Minato, the main dude. We have Hinako, the main chick, and then we have Yoko, who is our main dude's sister, and we have Wasabi, who's the main dude's firefighter buddy.
And I like. Yeah, and I like seeing the side characters like girl, like the sister is a real starts off her as a real shithead, you know, and like to the point where the main character is just like, yeah, my sister kind of sucks, you know, but take her with a grain of salt, you know, you'll win her over. I hope you have a good relationship with her eventually. And I was like, what a fucking bitch. And then by the end of the movie, I'm like, nah, man, you are who you are, and you're unapologetic, but you're a good person, and that's what really made me happy. Like, it was like. Yeah. Especially for her, and you know, for Wasabi, who he starts off very meek, very like not strong. We see him like fucking with trying to hold a hose down, and fucking with trying to, you know, crawl across the fucking rope. I don't know, like as a training exercise.
Yeah,
and
he's having a hard time.
By then he's like a very confident, strong firefighter, and just like a stronger person. So it's like throughout the entire movie, like there's growth. Like nothing's there. I don't feel like anyone's there without a purpose. Like even her friends who are her college friends, they're not super heavily focused on, but I feel like I get their gist, you know. And we see her parents for a bit. Like we see, I think we just see her mom for a bit. I'm like, yeah, like I understand where her mom comes from too. She's only there for a bit, but you know, moms don't understand. Sometimes you just gotta run, you know. Sometimes you gotta run and you know and be who you are. And I feel like this movie's great. Everybody should watch it.
Absolutely. I'm reading a review right now. I've been reading it the whole time that you've been talking. Where I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with all your points, and I like it. And great supporting cast. Every character does have a purpose. Meanwhile, other people didn't feel that way. So no. I never know, man. People have such different opinions. It's crazy. But other people didn't feel like there was any point for Wasabi other than he's living in the main character's shadow the whole time. And I'm like, no, that wasn't his point at all.
Maybe he started off that way. Maybe that's how he felt. Mm-hmm. But if by the end of the movie he was for sure his own man, he was a very strong person.
And our main character straight up said, "You have the potential to be better than me, man. Like easily, you got it in you, dude." And I'm like, all right, cool, sweet. And then people think that our main character is totally pointless and that her only reason for existing is to teach her boyfriend how to surf. And that's like it. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, she's a blubbering mess the whole time. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, her boyfriend, who she loved, died. Like, and she thinks it's her fault. How are you not going to be destroyed by that?
Absolutely. And like people also mention like when she was dating him or whatever, they're like, you really don't, seem like yourself. You used to be so gung-ho about surfing and stuff. Like, after he died, like, you just don't really have any personality anymore. Like, you've lost it all. And that's a huge fucking point of the story, homies. Like, I don't know, man. It's wild reading what other people feel about
the man she loved, who she had planned to hopefully spend her life with, had died.
Who they thought was just like cookie cutter perfect. And I'm like, yeah, that was kind of the point. And then they explained why he's that way. Like, what? Did we watch the same movie? Because the whole time I'm like, this dude's perfect and I love him and I don't care. And then later on they're like, yeah, he's perfect because he's so worried about not being perfect and not being adequate. And he feels like he owes everybody everything because he should have died.
Yeah, he wasn't like that. Like, something happened to him that changed him. And and that's why he is the person he is today. So
God,
it's ridiculous.
Dude, what a fucking great movie. I loved this movie so much. So it's crazy, like, looking at somebody else's review that 82 people found helpful.
How many people didn't find it helpful, though?
It doesn't tell you that.
Oh, lame. Okay, well, so I think we've said it once and twice, more than that, but, like, absolutely go watch this. I think it's worth watching.
Good. It's great. Beautiful.
We're gonna start talking about the spoily bits. So please just go do that before you do this.
That was all spoily bits.
No, we're gonna spoil some actual stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about some stuff.
Okay.
Just like go check it out before you listen to this bit. And if you don't care, that's fine. We don't fucking care. All right, here we go.
Okay.
So spoilers. The fact that, like, her boyfriend is dead or whatever, and she's, like, seeing him in water and stuff, the whole time that you and I were like, well, is he really there? Because she's, like, running around with, like, this filled up porpoise with water, and, like, she's, like, taking it to, like, the karaoke, and she's, like...
And everyone's looking at her like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Like, the whole time.
Like, she's, like, we see the same shots that we saw of her frolicking with her boyfriend, but through other people's eyes, and it's just like, it just looks like she's doing insane stuff. And every time she sings, the boyfriend comes to life in some sort of form of water, and
sings that specific song. Fuck,
yeah, and it's not clear as to, like, if it's really him or not. And there's a point where there's a car accident, and she starts singing because a car starts lighting on fire, and it's over a bridge, and the giant pillar of water comes up from the ground and douses the fire, right? But the main character is being held back.
Firefighters are nearby.
Yeah, the main character is being held back by Wasabi, so Wasabi doesn't actually see it. The other firefighters are there, so again, we still don't know if it's clear if it's her mental break or not. But at the very end, there's like a giant fire, like in this abandoned tower that has a giant tree because the same asshole did the fireworks before, brought more fireworks, and everything's lighting on fire, and it's a fucking fiery inferno. It's hell. It's horrible. Wasabi's there to save the day. They're doing their best. She's scared to sing the song because she's worried that, like, if she keeps singing it, he's just gonna disappear, But again, we still don't know if it's real or not. So she makes the choice to sing to save herself and the little sister. And the dude says, "Oh, thank you for singing. It's really sweet of you." And then a giant cube of water arises and, like, starts dousing the fire from, like, the ground up, right upwards, and it's like other firefighters are being caught in the water, and they had to swim down to get out of it. And
I was like, all right, it's for real.
I'm like, this is happening for real. There's no way this is happening for real. Like, and then, like, our boy, like, says hi to Wasabi, and he's just like, Wasabi's like, holy shit, she wasn't lying. She was telling the truth. I'm like,
thank God. That's what I really needed. Because, like, the whole, like, oh, it could just be fantasy in her head. They're all, like, swimming down. Maybe she's going to die here. Nah.
The fact that she did then surf the water down using, like, one of those things that you lay down a like an EMT would bring, like a stiff board. She surfed down it. The tower was pretty insane.
Not only
was very
that,
ludicrous.
Her fucking she was surfing, like, on her homie, essentially.
Yeah,
like, the girl's like hanging onto it, going straight down, like straight vert. Dude, while our chick is surfing, curling these waves.
It was a very nice visually, like, animated scene, but I was just like, that's fucking so insane.
Dumb. It was such a Yuasa scene, though.
Yeah, and it's only the point that really gets me is the point when, like, the fire chief is on the phone. He's just like, he's talking to somebody. He's like, yeah, it looks like a giant cube of water is going up and like dousing the flames. And he goes, I have no fucking clue how that's happening.
Yeah,
I was
like,
great.
I can't explain it. Yeah.
I was like, everybody saw it. This absolutely happened. Magic exists in this world. Fuck everybody who thought she was crazy. I just love that because I was like, I would have been cool with it being her head because sometimes that
just would have been a sad story, and that's good.
Sometimes your brain has to do stuff to make you feel better, and if that's what it had to do, then to make her heal, then good.
And that's what it had to do.
But for us to find out that it actually is magic, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, magic. And then his soul goes to heaven, and he's on the big wave in the sky, fucking pitted, bro. So that was cool.
Dude,
I really liked that.
The whole movie, though, I just got to say this. For like a few years now, I have been doing the shaka and like, bro, totally. But I've been doing it as like a...
Ironically?
Yes. Just like how I say like dope and shit all the time. Everything that I do starts with some irony. So seeing it be very genuine in this movie and being like, yeah, they're surfers. They're doing the shaka. It's a whole surfer vibe thing. Yeah, I'm into it. She's wearing Roxy shirts and whatnot, a famous surfing brand. The whole time I'm just like, fuck me, dude. Why do I do shit so ironically all the time?
You're like, I'm a garbage person. I can't do shakas anymore.
That's the way I feel. I'm like, this isn't cool. But now I could do shakas to represent the fucking rad movie, instead of some fucking bro in passing that's just like, yeah, dude, big, big time, dude.
Well, I'm glad that we can use it now and be like, people be like, what's up? You're surfers? Like, nah, I'm just really into Ride Your Wave, that fucking movie from 2019.
Yo, you heard that song? Whoa, big wombo, dude.
There's that bit. There's also the element of like we find out that our main character boy is the way he is because someone saved his life when he was younger, and that made him try super hard to help other people, and he worked even harder. He studied all the time, so that's why he's such a good cook. That's why he's such like a personal person. That's why he's so athletic. That's why he's so everything. And like when it's mentioned earlier, I was just like, oh, dude, fucking, there's no fucking way that the person that saved him isn't this girl, isn't our main character girl, right? Because he, from the very beginning, was like, that's my hero. He calls her my hero. I was just like, why would you call someone that? And then when it's revealed later, I'm just like, fucking finally, you dumb bitch. The whole time, I knew the whole time. It was really cool to then have the flashback and see it actually happening, and like all the elements of the music playing in the background, him seeing the surfboard, why he's so into porpoises, her seeing the turtle, why she likes turtles. It was a
beluga whale, by the way.
Yeah, was it a beluga whale? I don't know what it was, but it was. But he had the turtle on his bum, right? Like on his shorts. Yeah. So it was really nice to see like that pan out, because I liked that a lot better. The actual seeing the scene as opposed to being like him being like, by the way, you saved me when we were like 7. It's kind of fucked up. You don't remember, but I absolutely remember who you are, kind of thing. That was good. And then at the very end, Wasabi and was it? What's her name? Yoko, the younger sister.
Yeah.
They end up, becoming a couple, which is something that also felt like it was like a natural progression. It's something that was going to happen. She confesses his feelings to her, him, and
Yoko's whole story with her working at the cafe and stuff, and wanting to carry on his legacy and like do some coffee shit, like all of that was really cool.
Okay, I like that too. I was hoping, I was like worried if you're gonna be like, I thought that was dumb. I was like, I thought it was really sweet of her.
I loved that. Like I fucking love this movie. It's a 10 in my book. Like. Yeah. This is one of those where I'm like, I felt good watching it the whole time. Even the sad parts, I felt good because it wasn't as sad as it could have been. Like, he was around for the whole movie. They got to spend extra time together. He still went on to heaven, and like everyone's lives got better. And like, I don't know, man. I just felt really positive the whole time.
I think especially after watching so many sad things very back to back, and you're just like, finally, like a nice breath of fresh air. I will say that I do like, because she ends up becoming a lifeguard, which felt like a natural progression. She's like, I also want to help people.
I love that.
So that was like really nice.
I loved it, dude. I fucking loved this movie.
There's the bit where they return to like the tower where they put their lockets on, and like they take photos for Christmas, and like he tells Wasabi and Yoko to, you guys should go up there. It's really nice for couples and stuff. So she gets permission to go, so that, like leaving her as the third wheel. And then the loudspeaker comes on, and it's a message from the boyfriend a year later, right? Saying like, hey, like, dude, like Merry Christmas. Like, I'm really happy to be with you. I'm super excited to spend the next one and the next one and forever and ever together. And when that happened, I was just like, that really hurt because I was like, yeah, she is healing. She is getting better. She is, she did graduate from her lifeguarding thing.
But she hasn't grieved.
Not completely, right?
Yeah.
She's still, so like she breaks down and cries and falls into the water. And I'm just like, that feels like a very realistic raw moment. I'm just like, oh my God, like that would destroy me because the other person just tried to do something very thoughtful, not knowing that a year from now they were going to be dead, right? And then it's this like sweet thing. It's also the sad thing. It's a combination of both. And it just like, it breaks the scale on like the fuck. That's like the worst thing and the best thing ever at the same time. So that was like one of my favorite movies in the entire movie, like way near the end. Just like the acting in it, the performance, the animation, it was just so fucking great.
Got nothing but compliments for this film, my dude. It is just stellar. I mean, it's not my favorite movie I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking loved it though. And if anyone was like, "Hey, should I watch this?" I would say, "Yeah." Why? Why are you asking me? Like, if you thought about it, yeah, dude, it's great.
Yeah, it is great. Everybody should watch it. Had a good time. Nice. Okay, I think that's the show, right?
Yeah, next week we don't know 100% what we're talking about, but we will find out.
Yeah, it might be something special. It might be live action
not
garbage.
That special.
Well, it might be something new for us.
It might be something new for us.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud and YouTube. You should check out his YouTube. He's got a really dope of that Tame Impala song. Fucking Nasser on repeat.
Yeah, dude. Lost in Yesterday is really good, right? Like, he did such a good cover.
I did listen to the Tame Impala version, and I was like, that's really good too. That's a really good song.
They almost sound the same, but you could understand what he's saying in Tom's version.
Yeah. Tom does a better version of enunciating what he's saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good. So check him out on SoundCloud, YouTube if you like our theme song. Trip, where can we find us?
You can find us on Facebook, look up the Instagram Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, look up Instagram Pod. If you want to send us a tweet at Instagram Pod. Never mind. Instagram Podcast. Go to that for Instagram. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out of here, dude.
Are you done?
No. I'm just
you want to start
sad.
from the top?
No, I don't want to start from the top.
Okay.
But I will. No, Instagram is actually at Instagram Podcast. Twitter is at Instagram Pod.
And
you can shoot us an email, instagrampodcast@gmail.com. Somebody hit us up on Facebook and was like, "Hey, I never received my order." And and I was like, "Yo, dude, what order?" Like, we're just a couple of dudes that hang out and talk about our lives in the anime and shit.
No, you didn't say
you?
that. He said, "Hey, I never received my order," and you said, "What'd you get?" or something like that. And he goes like, "No, you don't get it. I didn't receive it," or whatever. Like, what'd you want or whatever? I think that's what it's like. You're like, what did you want? Like, you asked him like, what? Read it for me because it's so great.
Yeah, I'll find it really quick. It was stupid as fuck.
I came across this and I was just like, did this? Trip didn't.
I would like an order, please. And I'm like, you got it. What do you want?
That's what you said.
Yeah. I'm like, what? He's like,
and he goes, no.
I didn't get my order. And I'm like, oh no, most people don't order things from us because our service is just talking as friends about nerd stuff in our lives. But what is it? We'll make sure to talk about whatever you apparently ordered from two dudes who just talk to each other. And then he responded back and he's like, I don't have it up because I don't know how to get to the Facebook post or whatever. But he essentially said like, my father is rich and has a lot of money. You want to make this order. And I'm like, all right, dude. Like,
it was really big. Like, hey, I'm a Nigerian prince kind of vibes. If you give me,
It didn't even go into that. He's just like, my father's rich. I have lots of money.
But it feels like that. It's like one of those 100%.
Things. Yeah. That's what it is. And then he changed his, does he even say what his name is? I'm okay, like, outing some fucking
12-year-old.
No, it doesn't say his name on here. But then his name turned into some, like, African name, like, really quickly.
Yeah.
It was like, he was nobody, and then he was somebody, and then he had this, like, African name that very clear is, like, a Nigerian prince type scam. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who just goes on to, like, a very clearly, we're not, like, a business. We're a podcast. I don't know what you expect from it. We don't have merch. We have nothing, dude. Do your research first, scammer.
Bro, it was his first scam, bro. Okay, be nice.
I got so if you're trying to scam us, tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
I got hit up by the Social Security office this week, and they're like, "We're the Social Security office. We're gonna cancel your stuff if you don't do this." And I go, "Okay." So I hit one, and it goes like, "Hello, Social Security office." I was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I mean, I said, "What do you mean? What do you want? You're the one that called me. What do you want?" And I was like, really, really abrupt, and they're just like, "Oh, never mind." And they hung up on me.
Just never mind. That's it.
Yeah, oh my god. Because I feel like they're waiting for like what's going, like an old lady they call, or I'm like, no, I'm a man with all my senses. What the it's like, what do you want? No, what the fuck do you want, bro?
There have been a lot of weird scam stuff going around lately. Like there's tons. I don't know if you get these texts, but I get them all the time. Like CBD gummies and oils.
Siri just got those.
Yeah, all the time. I get tons of texts about that shit. I know that my coworker just recently got like hey, you have this kind of thing. Give us a call. We need your credit card number to confirm that this is you. And then she's like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "Hey, FedEx is trying to send you $30. We just need your social security and your account number and your address to make sure that we could get it to you." I'm like, "Just give them the office address, dude. $300,000 coming straight to you. That's awesome that this lottery winner is choosing random people to send money to, and you're chosen." Yeah, just stupid shit like that. Tons of scams are going around. So anyways, keep an eye out for your grandma.
One of my favorite ones too is the whenever I'm on Snapchat, I'll go through and like there's advertisement in between, and it's just like he goes, I was a victim of stimulus package, fraud, because like the stimulus check fraud. He goes like, "It was so embarrassing to think that someone got one over on me," and it's like this young black guy that's saying it. And every time I saw it for a while, I was just like, "What an idiot! Who would fall for that shit?" And then the last time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this guy's obviously an actor. Obviously, he's not a very good actor. He's just doing his job." It's like, "Hey, pretend like someone got you," and he's just like, "I feel so dumb." I was like, "You're doing a really good job of looking dumb." So,
hey, shout out to that Snapchat.
Shout out to that Snapchat actor.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate you. Sorry I went off on a giant tangent about Trigun, but you guys should watch Ride Your Wave. I love you. Talk to you next week.
This is bye from Juan.
See you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.